Well, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Iron Realm Media's its final show of 2023. If, of course, you think the year is 2023. And if you think the month is December. And if you think that they end the year right when winter starts, then Happy New Year. We've got an exciting show for you. We're going to go over a year's worth. Well, maybe not a year's worth, but we're going to scroll through a year's worth of space lettuce, things that Walt and Zack and I have collected throughout the months. We may open up the phone lines. Who knows what the hell we're going to do, but we definitely have a full house, a full panel, a full belly, and a full heart. With that being said, let's get into it.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires, in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Allegedly. And welcome. Glad to be here on this exciting Friday. Man, it's a half day of work. I could barely make it in. But I'm glad to be here with everybody. We're still waiting on Walter. Walter should be trickling in at any moment. So in the meantime, let's say hello to Mrs. Cami Knodel if she is linked up and hooked up. Well, you know what? We're going to come back to her because we just want to make sure that she's all situated. So we'll just jump to Zack first and say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala. He's got a channel here on YouTube. It's called Good Times for All. And if you're curious about the spelling because you've tried and you just can't find him, it's because you're spelling it wrong. Try spelling it Gudtims. The number 4 ALL. Good Times for All. Zack, how are you doing?
Gosh, you're not supposed to explain that to people.
Well, this is a very exclusive group.
Yeah, very true. So yeah, it's Friday. Last show of the calendar year, Gregorian calendar year, we'll say. How's that?
I mean, why not?
I'm an April Fool myself.
Same.
New Year starts when grass starts growing again.
Mm-hmm. When things come anew is when things should be new.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it, at least. I think the old ancient Hebrews had it right. You follow nature. Your year doesn't start just because, You wrote it down last year this way. Nature doesn't do that. Nature has cycles, and if you want to be in tune with nature, you need to tune your calendar to nature. And that's exactly what they did, following the moon and the harvest and stuff like that. And it was all in sync with nature on their 6-month thing. It was time to harvest again, and the weather was always, nice. It's weird how it works. You don't want to be out in the field harvesting when it's 90-something degrees outside. You wait an extra month and it's 65, 70, somewhere around there. Perfect outdoor weather. Yeah, it's neat. I've seen Just Jack follow this calendar, and I've seen farmers get burned not following it. It's funny. It's weird. Not funny, bad. But yeah, the farmers that don't know any better and don't use a farmer's almanac, there's probably not many of them, but I'm sure that almanac is a lot more closely in tune with what the Hebrews were doing than the Gregorian calendar itself. Just my opinion.
Well, you look to the skies for signs, and they've always been there for us. Right now, they do everything they can not to have us look to the skies. We're taught to tell time. They even took away the misguided time of the 12 hours and made everything digital. But they disconnected us from everything. When you're right, everything worked. It's meant to work in nature. It's meant you're meant to cycle with the moon, with the sun, with the seasons, and to pay attention to the sky. And as soon as you lose your link to the sky and start looking at text and math, there are issues. There's
You're not going to be in tune with nature anymore.
You're playing a stupid game, and what happens when you play stupid games?
Win stupid prizes.
That's right. Welcome, Karen B.
So how are you doing, Cameron Joe?
Oh, how am I? Oh, I don't know. Every time I talk over somebody, so I'm not in sync. I'm out of sync tonight. It doesn't feel like going into the new year. It feels like yesterday maybe felt like it. I was outside in the sunshine, and I spent hours down by the river with the dogs, and refreshed and felt all anew. And then woke up this morning and it was raining, and I haven't seen the sky today, nor are we supposed to see it tomorrow. That just doesn't seem. I mean, it's kind of pretty and rainy and drizzly, but it doesn't seem like welcoming in the new year and green and sunshine and what.
Oh, yeah, you're from the most sunny city in America. So yeah, any other place is pretty, you're gonna not be used to it so much. But yeah, it's actually been very mild here as far as rain that it usually gets. So maybe it was just the area kind of letting you settle in the first couple years, because we have been in a moderate drought here.
Well, I do like the rain, but I do like the sunshine. I'd like it if it would do the raining mostly at night.
Like Back to the Future. It's like it's gonna stop raining in 5, 4, 3, 2.
That's what I don't know if the rest of you guys' phones are doing that, but that's my phone has been doing that a lot, where it will say rain will begin at right now at 6:14, and it'll say rain will begin at 6:27 in your area, and it's really, I mean, it brings it down to the exact minute and weird minutes, and sometimes they'll put it over an hour out, sometimes 3 or 4 minutes out, and it's really interested in telling me that. Not quite used to it.
Seems very accurate, right down to the minute. You ever test it?
Sometimes, yeah, I did test it, and sometimes, and in fact, I laugh at it. It's ha ha ha! It's raining now, you fool. You say it's coming in 16 minutes, but it's pretty accurate. But it has its moments when those little balloons go out of whack a little bit.
Yeah, I know how that is. Well, I do believe Walter is on his way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give a big shout out to Aussie Rob there in chat.
Aussie Rob.
Happy Saturday, my friend. Hope you're enjoying your upcoming new year. I hope your holidays were good. Miss talking to you. You know, that being said, I'm just
Gotta
gonna.
let us know how the Sheila hunting's been going.
Yeah, I'd be real curious.
Yeah, I always love hearing from Rob. He hasn't stopped by in a bit.
He has not.
It is very nice to see him in the chat. Love Rob. Oh, so what do we got? Lots and oh my goodness, folks, it's ridiculous. We couldn't cover a quarter of it in probably a 5-hour show. All this wilted, rotten old lettuce that we have just piled up.
And we
See
got
what
some.
date am I? I'm in June. I'm still going backwards. Just cycling, and it takes my phone. You know how it takes to reload a bunch of new ones when you go real far back. I've been doing this for like 5 minutes or so, and I'm in June right now.
Yeah.
I expect it to take much longer. For those that don't know how the show works, when I joined this show, it has something called like a show chat and a pre-show chat and everything that I thought was to get ready for show topics on the show. And I mean, every week we throw, or they do, I mean, I used to, but yeah, they throw hundreds of videos and all kinds of topics back and forth. And then we get to the show and they've already talked about them all. So we move on to nothing. We don't really plan for the show, but we put all of the interesting stuff in there that we don't get to. It's pretty funny. We call it the pre-show non-planner because why be like the other places and the other shows?
Exactly.
It's laid back Iron Realm show group.
Into May.
What?
I know that, dude.
Shout out to Renee Calusia. $2 super chat. Think outside the pseudoscience globe. We are all FE. Damn Skippy. We're all family around here.
Yeah, I guess there's been a lot of backlash about TikTok lately, and people are suggesting that maybe it's because flat Earth is the most suggested thing on there now, or the most searched, I should say.
Yeah. How self-important are the flat earthers thinking they're taking all of TikTok down? Like YouTube is going to go stand before Congress and tell them they want to block flat earth videos?
What was that, 2017?
Uh-huh. I think that's right.
I just saw that video pop up again yesterday. They're still playing that one. Yeah, I love that. Specifically said flat Earth. Specifically. And other things, but yeah. Why? If it's not real, then why would you care? What difference would it make?
Does that mean that all of the things that you're not trying to take off of YouTube, you believe are real? The UFOs, the Sasquatches.
YouTube the bases on Venus and the bases on Saturn that people have claimed to have gone to.
And the ones that don't exist because they're not there because those people are crazy. Both of those are true, but flat earthers not. Both sides of every argument are true according to YouTube, except for the shape of the earth. And something about some small hats. Don't talk too much about those either.
Yep, that'll get taken right off of
everywhere.
Public radio. It only took Josh 2 words. And he was gone. Never asked to come back. Asked not to come back, actually, weren't you?
No.
No?
Nope.
Just not invited anymore?
Yep. Just sort of ghosted me, which is to be expected. I mean, they're a busy radio show. They do 4 hours every day. I get it. You're a producer. You got things you got to try to produce and other guests you got to try to get on. You can't just try to stop and have a conversation. And if you're not booking this guy because he's fucking crazy, there's no need to carry on much of a conversation with the crazy conspiracy theorist.
But yeah, to be fair, you were talking pretty crazy before they kicked you off, according to mainstream science, at least, you know?
Right. Giant spiders coming down from outer space and taking over the planet. No problem. But when there might be some people that are claiming to be of a certain religion that aren't really of a certain religion, but I don't know, because there's a whole bunch of convoluted information out there, and that was what gets you wiped off the public radio.
It's that easy.
You ain't even got to get all crazy like Yee does. Just even making the mere suggestion that there might be cause to question. The exact reason that I called in to begin with to the radio show was to say, no. There might be a reason to question the shape of the earth. Don't just disregard people that say the earth is flat. It's worth questioning. And had evolved and all the other nonsense that I would take on there and throw out there is at least a suggestion, at least a topic of conversation, if nothing else. But you get to the small hats. No. That's party quos, party line status quo, all the way. FCC.
You have to think of the children.
Yes, think
Go
of
out
the
there.
children. Good God,
What's
Mike.
that?
Super chat of $50. I'm glad y'all are back up and running. Kick your bad habits. Learn from Joshua. Love you, buddy. Well, I wouldn't say I've kicked him, but you know, I'm booting him around a little bit.
Thank you so much. That's all.
That is awesome. Much appreciated. Everybody go hang out. Truthers Hour of Comedy. And again, I did at the very least get compliments because I wore my THC slippers whilst in the hospital. And at least one nurse's tech appreciated them and complimented them.
That's awesome.
I'd have worn my shoes, but I was in the hospital. And they just aren't nearly as sexy when you're in a hospital gown and your THC high tops. Because you may not know that Mike LaBrash of the Truthers Hour of Comedy is an award-winning shoe designer. Not many people know that. And I have one of the few originals. One of the few pair.
Gonna be hawking those on eBay in about a decade.
Yep. Not 6 months ago. You know, I actually played some Fortnite before the show, and I placed 17, and I actually got some kills. I didn't just hide and wait and survive. I actually went out there and shot and killed people and made it to 17th place.
The
all
fire,
by myself. Huh? Yeah. Go figure.
Well done. Nice shoot.
I kept thinking I'd seen somebody else pop on, but nobody else ever popped on. I saw Nemo playing, but he was in with some trios. I'm like, I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to be rude. Just join a party uninvited. So I just go play by myself. That's okay. Josh will just play with himself.
Well, I'm not going to say it's the first time it happened. But that's not the first time it happened. So is there a bad background noise? I'm trying to deal with it, but I see my light won't go off. Like it's constantly hearing a noise. Are you guys hearing it or are you taking it
so
out?
it's there. I'm telling you, I bet you that it is there because it sounds like your noise suppression is on. You're kind of muffled and kind of low, like it's blocking whatever noise is in that background. I don't know why,
because nothing's changed. I'm always using the same fan, same setup, but I noticed my blue input light is staying on until I turn it way low. That's not a thing it normally does, so something has changed.
Yeah, all sorts of
My
shit's
apologies.
been real goofy today.
Yeah, I
it's-
know. Well, think about the start we had this morning.
I've worked all day to block that out. Spent 10 minutes getting everything set up, and as soon as I get ready to go live, my internet crashes.
Well, my original
Ridiculous.
plan was not to take a nap at all, stay up and just hang out. If I had gotten to bed really early last night, ye old ER cake, and so I was in bed quite early and up with no problem. But yeah, I did a lot of extra things here, trying to just whatever around the house, and then suddenly it was like nap time. It had to happen. The early mornings ER cake apparently got to me. So I was ready for a nap. I guess around 2-ish, like really late. Then too late to try to get a nap in. But I thought, yeah, I'll just do it for a couple hours, hop right up. Yeah, no. Popped out of bed at 5:01, going, man, really? Fuck. So my bad. I didn't realize we were going to go at 5. So I would have been up earlier, thinking.
Yeah, this morning was crazy.
15 or 20. So it was pretty.
I woke
nuts.
up at 4:59 this morning when you guys called because my phone just shut itself off. Has your phone ever done that? Like, it had plenty of battery. Even when I turned it back on, it had almost a full battery, 80-something%. But it just shut itself off in the middle of the night. I don't get it. Never had a phone do that to me before.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't unmute it. Yeah, I've like watched, like I've literally sat and just happened to be whatever here at my desk, looking around and glance over and see my phone in the process of restarting. So I didn't restart it; it restarted itself. I assumed on like 2 or 3 phones ago that was like the phone tripping, getting old, end of life. Hey, I'm dying. Here's how I show you by acting like this. And I, came to realize that probably as they're putting in their backdoor updates to clean up the sound on my mic so they can hear it over my fan when they're listening in, shit like that. When they put in their little updates on the backside of things, they have to restart my phone too, just like I do when I get the official AT&T approved update. So you probably got a backdoor update. What? Backdoor update, 3rd album, secret track.
It's like my 6th year of my first marriage.
Right. So, yeah, that might be what happens.
Yeah, it was weird. It didn't turn itself back on. I mean, I had to hold the button down and it turned back. I was like, what? I know it's not dead. And then sure enough, when it popped on and the battery was almost full still, I was like, well, what's going on? This is weird.
Thank you so much, Ashley Knopp, there in chat. Welcome and appreciate that super chat. And you may have been here and I just didn't remember the name. I apologize. Now that I'm looking at it again, I think I do remember that name. I'm even already typed it this afternoon because, again, I'm waking up. Ignorant.
Now, Zach, are you sure that like Hank wasn't playing with it while you were sleeping, or
It might have been.
I mean, he and Min could have been playing some games, or did you
They-
look for
they
weird
do, like-
charges, or
If I set it on the ground when I'm playing with them, Hank always steps on it and changes something.
Yeah, the cats
Mhm.
always do something too. They'll change it, they'll move the screen, they'll scroll, but I don't. I mean, the way my phone is, you have to hold a certain button down for a length of time to either reset automatically or go to a certain screen to find a power button to do that.
yeah. But Hank is a smart dog, and he's got some special skills. I mean,
And he does. You're correct.
yeah,
You're
and he
correct.
sings.
I
He
watched it
sings
happen
well.
right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's crafty. You gotta keep an eye on him. He's got shifty eyes. Dog with the shifty eyes. So I'm still going back in the pile. Let's see, where am I at now? March 7th.
So I'm going to try to load my bookmarks of the January space lettuce and see exactly how well this works. All right, let me pull it up because I'm afraid it's just going to start eating RAM like it's nobody's business. Let's see, come down here.
Just fire and all kinds of stuff erupt behind Josh when he hits the button.
Google Chrome says, "Are you sure you want to open 81 tabs?" You know what?
81 tabs from just
That's
January.
January show prep. Yes, sir. Yes, I believe I do. And it's
Bye, everybody.
populating.
That was a fun show.
Oh, I didn't even leave it open so everybody could see what 81 freaking tabs looks like open up on my screen. Here we go. Yeah, that's a lots of tabs.
That's a lots of time.
I've seen more than that. I know I have.
Oh, yeah. OBS doesn't want to work.
I forgot I had to have Skype open too.
So, yeah, that's a bunch of tabs open. She's doing pretty good, though, considering. So, all right, we can start off. Not new tab, whatever the next. No, come on. Oh, it
Does not compute. Does not compute.
Yeah, it's pretty much what's happening.
What are you trying to do exactly? I missed it because I was
So
closing tabs.
I went into Skype and I scrolled all the way up to January of this year. And I opened up every story that we had in there between January 1st and February 1st.
So you broke your computer.
Well, you know, I think it's time to give the hamsters a little bump of meth because they're definitely slowing down.
Does not compute.
Yeah, you probably got like 5,000 little background ad videos playing right now, just smoke flying off the back of your wires.
Yeah, don't let any of the smoke out of the wires.
I keep that in.
That's a no. Once you let the smoke out, the wire is no good no
I
more.
didn't know we were going to actually attempt to go from January forward. I just assumed we kind of backtrack the stories until we got tired of doing it. You guys have bigger plans than I did. Wow. Ooh. I better gird my loins here. Give me a second.
Well, look, on December 29th of last year, alien antimatter had crashed into Earth. I mean, it's such a big deal. You remember how that just took over the headlines, don't you?
Alien antimatter.
Thank you, Dan.
Right. It wasn't earthling antimatter, mind you.
I love it. Okay, I can only get back to February 26th so far. Maybe I'll just stop here, letting it load. Before I let the smoke out of my wires over here.
Yeah, it's taking a pretty few seconds to close out a window. Here we go. Scientists have avenged Pluto and declare that there are 150 planets within our solar system.
What?
Absolutely.
Oh. Apparently I got bigger
Allegedly.
problems than I know because now that I've turned the fan off, it's in the red. So something's going on. Give me a minute. I'm going to go.
You got your noise inverter on, so it's always looking for the quietest noise? Maybe not. So I don't know what the hell they're trying to say here. You know the old tagline, in space, no one can hear ice cream? I mean, you scream. We all scream for ice cream. And unfortunately, being back in this rapidly warming rock of ours, we can hear everyone screaming just fine, especially those yowling about the particularities of space itself, ironically. Last we checked on our demoted pal, Pluto, it was still most certainly not a planet, despite the decade and a half's worth of grousing from overly invested astronomy fans. Welcome to the world of pop culture, astronomy fans. And even though the man responsible for snatching away its designation in the first place tried to make it up to everyone recently, the fact that remains, it is still highly unlikely the International Astronomical Union will backtrack on its 2006 decision. What the hell kind of word vomit just erupted on the page?
Yeah, that couldn't have been AI. That was a literary, not a science engineering type person. That was Shakespearean.
That was a Shakespearean who gets paid by the word.
Yep. Yeah. You got to fit as many words in there as you can. Good Lord.
Perhaps the knowledge of this near hopeless case that recently prompted a group of scientists to apparently throw up their hands and give their go for broke demand of screw it. We just don't want Pluto back. We want another 150 goddamn planets added to the list. That's the gist of the new article published in the research journal Icarus, arguing that the IAU are the real jabronis here. God damn it. What the fuck? As NBC News breaks it down, the team of scientists allege that the current planetary classification is based more on outdated astrological, read pseudoscientific, terminologies and should be updated to reflect the modern age.
What part of it's not pseudoscience that they're talking about? I mean, you're saying a light in the sky is terra firma. You just magically made Venus the size of Earth, and that's how you got all the sizes and all the distances and all your calculations. There's nothing scientific about anything they're doing, unless you believe that they've sent craft to all these places, and guess what? We were right. Venus is the same size as Earth. What a guess.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Oh, goodness. Sorry for the interruption there, Josh.
No, I welcome it because I really have very little desire to continue on with this because I think this is really just sort of setting the stage for what is to come with the rest of the space lettuce that we've gathered here for 2022. Just complete gobbledygook, I think is the technical term for it. Or poppycock, if you will.
Poppycock, which will be returning with Rose 777 and Wayne McCroy on the Rose 777 channel, I believe.
Okay, AV
So
Club.
nice.
I appreciate
I
your
miss
attempts.
Poppycock.
It will be nice.
See, I'm still out of sync. Like I wrote it in the chat. I've just got to like make it happen, but I think I need a little bit more of the Hello Jelly to keep up with this. It's just not working for me, Josh. But you keep going, okay? I'll see what I can do on my end.
All right.
Thank you, Daryl.
So here it is. The White House has committed to an ISS extension. Oh, now there's a story that didn't hold up well.
No. No, that's one that they wish wasn't in our lettuce pile anymore. It's like, where'd they pull that article from? I thought we scrubbed that.
Just remember, back in January, nope, this is still December 31st of 2021. The Biden administration formally supports extending operations of the International Space Stations through the end of the decade. Come on in, Walter.
So that would be till 2030.
It would. Good job.
Check, breaker, 19er, Walter, come on back.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
And do
You
you
sound
also
good.
hear the background hum that won't go away?
Negative, sir.
Don't hear it.
Okay, it's there because I can see the blue light won't go off. And that wasn't happening this morning for the morning show because I would have noticed the light staying on. The light doesn't come on unless there's some input going into the system. And so when I turn it down to a certain volume, which is the volume you guys said was too low, that light goes off and I can make it pop on and off when I'm talking. Now it's just steady on.
Check the plugs on the back. Make sure there's nothing touching it.
Yeah, I've done all that.
I just thought maybe something might be.
That's why I took Miscellaneous back in here. I've redone everything. I figure it's something the cats have done in here while I was sleeping. No, seriously, they walked on, pulled something somewhere else. It must be maybe I went to the back of the computer and checked. Nothing there. That's wrong. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to pop in with all this shit. Sorry. Just go ahead. As long as you can hear me, it's fine. But I guess I'm gonna undo everything later and see what's going on. But it just.
So right now, the ISS has been backed by the Biden administration to go all the way to 2030. We're in January or December of 2021.
That's right. Federal law, last revised in 2015 with the enactment of the Commercial Space Launch Competitiveness Act, made it a U.S. policy to operate the station at least through 2024. But now the NASA has said that White House has agreed to extend the operation of the ISS through 2030. Exactly like Zack said, right up to the next decade, encompassing then this entire decade itself. And there we go. That's just how the story actually does unfold. By the way, is anybody aware of the current state of the ISS?
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
No. They're looking to have to hire some private spaceman to go fly up there to rescue the astronauts.
Not looking good. We're still in 2022, folks. Nowhere near 2030.
Good to know. Here is from the Eurasian Times, still from December 29th. 50% of near-miss collisions, 1,600 close calls. Are Elon Musk's Starlink satellites triggering a space catastrophe? Answer no. His balloons didn't do shit. I do vaguely remember this one. Space colonists will likely resort to cannibalism, scientist says.
Yeah, I want to go to Mars.
I remember making the thumbnail, actually, the show description picture for that one, yes.
There, that way now you guys can actually see too. Yeah. They are going to eat each other if there's no other way to survive. Not at all like people here on Earth. Why, just look at the Donner Party.
Those people that crashed in that mountain went to prison for cannibalism.
The soccer team?
Yeah, and they were eating dead people.
Football
Not even some. They didn't have to go kill the prey. You know, they weren't murdering. Well, I don't know what was up there. I wasn't there, but to be fair, according to what they said, the people died in the crash, and they, had to eat them then to survive. I don't know. Was never in that position. Can't say I would never do that, or I don't know. That would suck. Just gotta say.
Yeah. Surely would. Oh, look, this is a futurism. Oh, hell no. Not listening to no friggin' commercial. But you could listen to it if you wanted to, and it reads the article for you. That's pretty nifty. But yeah, this makes me laugh too. As if things weren't going to be tough enough for future space colonists, experts now say they're likely going to face food troubles, and that might just turn them into cannibals.
Then why are you going in the first place? If you know you're going to run out of food, and it's not like you can just grow plants up there. It's not planting a seed and going to get rained on like in reality. Why even say that you want to attempt this, to go to Mars?
That's what humans do. We go explore the gung-ho adventure spirit of discovery and
except for the ocean, right?
Except for right there around that little Antarctic area. Don't do it there. Everywhere else, you can go there.
85% of the
North
ocean.
Pole, don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah. But everywhere, you can go there. Okay, wait.
So Charles Cockle, professor of astrobiology.
I chuckled at his face. I'll beat up.
I chuckle at his professorship. Astrobiology. He has become an expert of all of the biology in space and has never left Earth. The leading expert about astrobiology. What is
Yeah, there's so much life out in space, right?
so much life out in space, especially life out in space that has come back for us to study, combined with all of the humans that have left Earth, gone to outer space, collected biology and studied out also. I mean, just think of the wealth of information this man had from which to gain his knowledge and his education of being an astrobiologist.
Was he sifting through Scott Kelly's poo?
Yeah,
That's how he got his degree.
sculpting.
Sculpting. That was his thesis. His doctorate. Oh my goodness.
And apparently, this is the guy who is also the expert about what's going to turn people into cannibals. So there's that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to. It's called starvation.
Right.
And that'll do it.
That'll do it anywhere.
Just about any
Pretty
time,
much
anywhere.
You put
Yeah.
starving humans anywhere, and that's where they're going to turn to cannibalism. If they're on Earth, they'll do it on Earth. If they're on Mars, guess what? They're going to be cannibals on Mars. If they're starving to death.
Yeah, but that 80s movie was really great.
Was it though?
Cannibal Hookers on the Moon, wasn't that it? Yeah.
I don't
I thought
know.
you were talking about Mac and Me.
I had no idea what you were talking about, which
There
is why
is-
I questioned as to whether how good it was.
There was Mac and Me. Didn't include Mac and Me in my list.
Good stuff. Thanks, Futurism. New Atlas. Reusable micro balloons could give satellites a run for their
What?
money.
Micro balloons, even.
Allegedly.
I mean,
what would that be like? What would that do to us, for us, with us, against us, near us, beside us, through us?
well, when it comes to taking high-res aerial photographs, we generally look to satellites, drones, or full-size aircraft. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know? Colorado-based Urban Sky's new micro balloon system, however, is claimed to deliver higher resolution images at much lower cost. Each micro balloon unit consists of a small, reusable stratospheric balloon, underneath which is slung a payload module that includes downward-facing, high-res optical camera. Other imaging sensors, such as infrared or hyperspectral cameras, can also be used.
Now wait. So you're saying they are going to use balloons and atmosphere? Oh, the stratosphere, and have like picture taking ability. That's ridiculous.
I would have seen these balloons. I don't believe it.
I know you got to be right there. I've seen planes, so I would have seen these balloons, right? They have to be equal in size and resolution.
And how long could they really stay up there for? Anyway?
And yeah, I mean, you've seen my dish out there pointed to one spot in the sky. It doesn't move around, Josh. I don't have controls to move this dish like I used to in the 90s or the 80s or whatever that was. So yeah, you and your balloons.
Sherry Ives says Cannibal
Micro-
Hookers on the Moon is her new password.
I don't believe that'll work. Try Cannibal Hookers on the Moon 69.
Hashtag. You have to have one of those in there. Maybe a.
Here's what you do.
No, that colon works better.
Nope. If you take your moon, delete the O's and make them zeros.
There you go.
MOON. That spells moon. No. Oh.
All right. That's right. Balloons instead of satellites. Shocker.
Who would have thunk it?
Thanks, New Atlas. Imaginary numbers could be needed to describe reality, new study finds. Oh, look.
What's
just-
an imaginary number?
That's what you pull out of the hand of alien life forms that you find in the antimatter so that the astrobiologists can help with the math.
Oh my goodness.
Imaginary numbers. I don't know. Maybe this is a thing.
0?
I'm not a numbers guy.
Limp. I just made up an imaginary number.
Imaginary numbers are necessary to accurately describe reality.
La boba. Is that a word? Or
Two
did I
new
make up
studies
You made up,
have
an
suggested.
imaginary number.
Sorry, Josh.
Well, this one says imaginary numbers could be needed to describe reality, new studies find. So apparently there's some new studies found that some imaginary numbers could be needed. So let's kick off that story by saying imaginary numbers are necessary to accurately describe reality. 2 new studies have suggested.
Ding.
Ding. I think the study
11-7.
suggested that the scientists would like to have some more money, please. And they're willing to make every other inference to make that happen. Imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers are what you get when you take the square root of a negative number. And they have long been used in the most important equations of quantum mechanics.
Well, when you're making shit up, you have to make up more shit to make it work.
This
This is where I, like in college, just like had the most arguments with my. Okay. Anyway, go.
the square root of a negative number. All right.
Can you pull out some bananas, put them on the table, and show me that, please, sir? Okay,
Yes.
then shut the fuck up.
Well, quantum mechanics is the branch of physics that describes the world of the very small. When you add imaginary numbers and real numbers, the two form complex numbers, which enable physicists to write out quantum equations in simple terms. But whether quantum theory needs these mathematical chimeras or just uses them as convenient shortcuts has long been controversial. In fact,
And they call it mathematical chimera, dude. Come on, that is the prog metal band you want to hear.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Tool's second choice for a name.
I think it might be. You're right.
Allegedly.
In fact, even the founders of quantum mechanics themselves thought that the implications of having complex numbers in their equations was disquieting. In a letter to his friends, Hendrik Lorentz, physicist Erwin Schrödinger, the first person to introduce complex numbers into quantum theory with his quantum wave function, wrote, quote, "What is unpleasant here, and indeed directly to be objected to, is the use of complex numbers. I have no idea what that symbol is, but surely it's fundamentally a real function." And that goes on.
Fundamentally?
Fundamentally a real function.
Why? I mean, fundamental means that it's needed, right? That it's, oh, but he's trying to do quantum, which is
The
Narnia.
fundamentals, right?
Yeah, okay. I get it now. Okay.
So, yeah. Look, this is great. We can just drone on and, oh no, thank goodness. It just looks like a long story. The other half of this website is just advertisements on white page. Cool.
Good Lord.
Jeez. Thanks, Live Science. Oh. Yes, this is, I knew there was something else coming up after that cannibal story. I knew there was another one related to the cannibal story. And I knew this would happen because I had the same freaking issue. There we go. Last time. Oh, no. This is just freaking inverse, I guess, trying to be cool. It says, look, future colonies on Mars could be built with human blood. For all the glitzy depictions of future Mars civilizations, there's one glaring problem. How do we even build a city on Mars? Transporting a single brick from Earth to Mars is estimated to cost as much as $2 million. Imagine what it would cost to build a research station or just a modest place to sleep. Future denizens on Mars could depend on making materials on the planet for their colonies to become sustainable and cost effective, but they likely won't make the same something or other. That was too fast. Sorry. The team of researchers at the University of Manchester has an unorthodox solution, creating a concrete-like material out of the dust of human biomaterials. Tick, tick.
Because there's so many humans on Mars.
Human biomaterials in this case means extracting proteins from human blood, plasma, and compounds from urine, tears, and sweat. When mixed with Martian
I want to sleep
dust,
in that house.
the result is surprisingly strong. Earth-brown material can be molded and even 3D printed into shapes. The recipe is outlined in the September article from somewhere. Look at all the various piles of interesting things you can make with human biomaterials.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, so we've never brought anything back from Mars.
Right,
Never sent a human to Mars.
right.
But they know that mixing these will be great and just like concrete like.
How many people are they
Allegedly.
planning on sending to Mars?
Allegedly.
Because while, a good, I could see them. I mean, how much tears and blood? How many people? Is there gonna be like a sweat and poop farm like set up? I mean, what is the plan? I don't understand. Somebody help me understand. I don't understand.
Elon's going to do it all himself. He's going to be there on a treadmill. Catheter, IVs, just nonstop running. He's a
Like
machine.
right there, that little brown crawfish thing, crawfish
Right.
house you're looking at.
Uh-huh.
How much blood, sweat, and tears would that take to make that? Mixing that with dirt, get it, but how much would it take? That's
Not just dirt. It's got to be mixed with Martian dust.
Martian dust.
When it's mixed with Martian dust, the result is a surprisingly strong, what the fuck is this silly ass website? Is a surprisingly strong earth brown material that can be molded and even 3D printed into shapes. If you would like the recipe, it has been outlined in a September 10th report in the Journal of Materials Today Bio.
Well, go see how many cups of tears you need to make a crawfish house. I need to know. Because I'm crying now, even while you're reading this.
Oh, come on. Put that in the toilet, dude.
But look how pretty it is.
Look what I found, Mom. Mommy, look what I made.
Tang!
Uh-oh, what's this?
But extracting biofluids like blood is no easy feat. You need a safe, controlled environment.
In a vacuum, you're in a lot of trouble.
The main potential for
Sorry.
sanitary issue I foresee is the risk of infections from the removing of blood from the body, taking the plasma, and putting the blood cells back in the body.
Wait, what happened? Whoa, hold up.
Nope.
Putting them back in the body
Yep.
after
That's how you do it.
mix them with the mud, put them back in.
No. You take the
Scoop it
plasma out, and then you put the blood without the plasma back into the body so that you
You
can
take
use
the
the
blood
plasma.
parts out. You put the blood parts in. You take the
Yeah, those
plasma
plasmas aren't
out.
doing
You
anything
shake it all
anyway.
around. What in the actual fuck did you just read to me?
Yep.
It's not like your blood needs that plasma.
No.
Come on.
Your lungs will be fine.
Deal
Y'all,
with it.
I'm still like on your imaginary number article a few things back that caught me on the imaginary numbers, and I was like square. So I wanted to know what the fuck that meant on squaring the negative. Are you ready for this? Okay. Normally in math, when you take a negative towards a negative, you get what? A positive. But now some quantum calculators have it built in that when you square a negative, which is pretty much taking a negative times a negative, you get a positive answer. So that all these questions is why now you have sets of calculators that are working differently because of quantum mechanics on how they handle the scoring of a negative number. and there's 3 different ways to calculate it. So now you have all of this, not that they like math is reality and not that they confuse it enough already, but now you have calculators that if you put in, like if you type into your Google search and write the words like negative mark 2 squared, it will give you -4. If you do a course -2 times -2, it will give you +4.
We need to get rid of the negative connotation
Because
altogether.
there is,
Greater
go
than
ahead,
or less than will solve all this.
we'll solve
You could
all of
have
this.
benchmarks. You could have whatever you want. But
There's
we
no
don't
such
need
thing
negative.
as a
There's no
true
such thing as a
negative,
negative. There's no
ever.
such thing as
What if
zero.
those negative numbers identify as positive today, though? What happens to your calculations then?
I know, but no, seriously, think of what they're doing with the math is reality right now. We
And the
now
COVID
with that article you just read, you have calculators that are now handling negative squares as positive results, where other calculators are doing this, and depending on what they program it with. But we now have 2 answers to what a negative number squared is with that article. I think it has more implications, that imaginary number, just to fuck with math in general and make it all work out. If you can, change the rules on it, you can make it work out easier. It's kind of like the monopole. But just thinking on it and go forward. And now I'm like thinking about this, and then I look up and you guys are holding something that looks like a piece of poop on the screen.
I think you're being number phobic, Cami.
Oh, okay. Go back to the poop. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt the show. You're like, I'm continuing with my out of sync, but I'm trying to catch up. Whole numbers, real numbers, have they been canceled? Yes, Jonna, they have been canceled along with cursive writing. That is not how our children are taught to think. If negative numbers identify as positive, they are transgender and need hormones. Yes, and affirmation. Lest they commit suicide.
Oh goodness.
Oh, we're not cynical tonight. Keep going, boys. Aren't you glad you waited for me to join in?
Well, we're already on to space news here, where apparently there was some shady stuff going on in India, because Starlink's head of India resigns as SpaceX refunds the pre-orders.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I think there was even something else that went on to happen. Didn't he like get charged or something? I thought could have sworn there was something else. Maybe not though.
I know Starlink isn't doing all that well.
Right. Not like Tesla. No, wait.
Yeah, oops. Yep. Or his boring company that's bored one hole. The only thing he's got going for him is PayPal. Does he still own PayPal? Oh,
Neuralink,
Twitter, of course.
Baby mama. Really looking forward to getting chips in her head. She can surf the internet and shit. And that one rapper wanted to sound like Lucifer. What was his name? Lil Uzi Vert, I think is his name. He and Elon's baby mama really looking forward to getting those Neuralink chips in their heads.
Yeah,
saw that the other day.
Like
All right. Head of India, Starlink resignation, refunding pre-orders. Where'd the money go? I'll just have that story in there a couple times in case I missed it. Go F yourself. What is this? A boom that shook Pittsburgh on New Year's Day was an exploding half-ton meteor, NASA says.
Allegedly.
Because we had to be told. Allegedly. A meteor that caused a loud boom heard in western Pennsylvania on New Year's Day exploded in the atmosphere with a blast equivalent to 30 tons of TNT, NASA said Monday. The sounds were heard a few minutes before 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. Had it not been cloudy, the fireball would have been easily visible in the sky as it broke apart, according to a post on NASA's Meteor Watch Facebook page.
You're telling me that clouds
Yep.
block out a 30-ton equivalent meteor explosion.
Yep. And stayed there in place afterward, mind you.
Oh, that was nice of it.
Wasn't that nice of it?
That was sweet.
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody could see anything. It was just a big explosion, but trust NASA that it was a meteor that exploded over top, just behind the clouds that you can't see it. Sorry. But data from the nearby infrasound station registered the blast wave from the meteor, enabling NASA to estimate the energy given off. If we make a reasonable assumption, shit, where's my bell?
What the fuck station?
Oh, the infrasound station. The nearby one. Not one of those.
Not that far.
God, no, none of those far ones. The far ones are just too
Good,
far,
'cause
you
when you
know.
have to travel too far for your
Mm.
infrasound, it's cold and slimy by the time you get it home.
So we just grabbed one of the near ones. Just grabbed one of the nearest infrasound stations that registered the blast. From the meteor, luckily, they knew it was a meteor too, enabling NASA to estimate the energy given off. Ooh, that sounded like about 30 megatons. Yeah, that's about 30 megatons. If only we could have seen it. Allegheny County, which includes Pittsburgh, received 911 reports Saturday of a loud boom and shaking in the suburb of South Hills, according to the county's Twitter account. An earthquake and thunder and lightning were initially ruled out as possible causes. No reports, though, on the super secret spy planes. A sonic boom, which sounds similar to an explosion or thunderclap, occurs when a object such as a meteor or supersonic aircraft travels through the atmosphere faster than the speed of sound. But trust us, it's not our super secret spy planes. It's the meteor that you couldn't see.
So I have found that it says that there's 60
Okay,
of them
so
across the globe.
what you
The
got?
globe.
What you got? 60 what?
Infrasound
Arrays of
station.
infrasound station, yeah, across
Yeah.
35 countries. Yeah.
Love that.
Who knew?
Who knew? Look,
Yeah.
look. 30 megatons, obviously.
Why? To monitor Earth mainly for atmospheric nuclear explosions. That is why these exist.
Mm.
Where? At 60 these stations, whatever, across countries. Why? It's for. Oh, God, I can hardly read this. It's tiny. Let me go bigger. Hold
I
on.
had to put glasses on. And mine's not that tiny.
Infrasonic sensors measure micro pressure changes in the atmosphere. Oh, my God, it's hard to read. Which are generated by the propagation of infrasonic waves. These are very low frequency waves that can be created by atmospheric nuclear explosions. When infrasound stations relay data continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a fucking week for you, babe. Because we have, unending cloud data space now, right? That's how that works.
Allegedly.
Okay, so I'm looking at this is Wilson, Alaska Technical Center. Never mind. I'm trying to find out where they all are. The stations for
Just look
in the
for a big
United
orange ball, Zach, and you found it. There you are.
It's best to look in the early morning and the late evening. Just don't look for the big orange balls at noon because it hurts your eyes.
So infrasound is a sound wave below 20 hertz. So this is measuring Earth's resonant frequency for the most part.
These are all your sources of infrasound. Nuclear and chemical explosions, severe storms, avalanches, explosive volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, microbaroms, rocket launching, supersonic aircraft, satellite and other space debris re-entry, because we all hear about that happening all the time, people getting hit and houses going up in flames. And of course, last but certainly not least, it can certainly, without doubt here, meteors up in this space, up in this space.
Right. So this little blip on the screen that they identified as obviously being 30 megatons
Oh, this is so much fun.
is obviously a 30 megaton meteor from that entire list of things that it could have been.
It could have been those. but
This one is obviously
up
a
there
30
above those
megaton.
clouds.
Right. Cool story, bro. Thanks, CNN. Fake news.
Oh, and if you were going to configure, can I,
Oh, this was a good
can I
one.
share?
I'm pretty sure I gave you.
Let me see. I don't know if
shit.
I can. No, you didn't. I left, remember.
Yeah, I thought I'd given it to
I
you when
missed.
you came.
You
back.
may have, but I left.
There you go.
Okay.
That
So,
has the
if
power.
you're going to set up one of these, how would you set it up? What kind of array would you use? Well, certainly you could use the cool looking like little star patterny, little like whatever these are here. You could do that. Or you could do triangles. You could do triangles. Or what could you do? A pentagon. Pentagram.
Hell yeah.
It's a pentagram. I'm not saying anything about Satan. But
I just saw Dana Carvey church lady when you said that. Okay.
inlet ports of a noise reducing pipe array at the infrasound station over there in Australia. Where you at, Lucas? I bet Lucas has been over there.
Rob was in chat earlier.
Oh, you're right, Rob. Where you at, dude? Tell us about this place. And boats.
Talk to me softly and quietly about your inlet ports.
Oh, wait, what is this? These are pictures of this. Somebody put some shower heads in the ground, and where's this? I don't know, but this is the official. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, there you go again. Man, what?
They built like a tiny group shower for the fairies. All the little fairies can come and take showers together.
Oh,
Fairies'
now
lives matter.
The sheep dig it. So
They sure do, Walt.
I know.
They sure do.
Oh, my.
Oh, I found an article we're definitely gonna have to touch on next
All right, I'm
Tuesday.
gonna stop.
Look, I'm gonna have to pick this pace up because there's no way I'm going through this.
Well, that's what I
stories
said.
like
If we
this.
start
This
in
is
January, then we'll
stupid.
be here till next January to get this shit done.
Oh Jesus!
And I've completely checked out of chat because I've been so lost in all this idiot fuckery.
Yeah, I've had.
Trying to keep up. What are y'all doing?
Sorry, I'm just gonna clip through some of these real quick. The universe is already in its sixth and final era. Good to know. Skip. Are some cats psychopathic, or are they just being cats?
I
Company
remember this story because it was early in my cat daddy life.
Company claims gene-edited tomatoes contains neurotransmitter. A tomato a day keeps the doctor away? Question mark. Huh. People are sounding off on a study that says those who worship celebrities may be less intelligent. No shot there. This 19th century
I'll
eco-villain
have to meet up. This is killing.
made space art that was truly ahead of its time. The eco-villain making space art. As much as I really want to get into this one, this is still freaking January.
Wait,
January
Yeah,
3rd
yeah,
by
but-
this story is still the 3rd of January.
January 3rd. We're like
Welcome
an
to-
hour and 15 minutes deep into the show, and we're on January 3rd.
All right. Well,
Oh my goodness.
this is a real good idea. This will have to be a 52-part series. All right. A function at Elon Musk's Starlink satellite dishes is causing them to attract too many cats. I remember that too. They were overheating, and in the cold, the cats would go and snuggle up on them to stay warm and limiting the signals.
They were coming up with every kind of reason to say these Starlinks are just not working because of this,
the cat.
because of
The
this and
cats.
that. And if it's not working, just go out and check it. Make sure there's no cats on it.
No, I just said Elon's a pussy. In wild design, vintage illustrations expose the patterns and shapes behind all life on Earth. Oh, I totally forgot. I needed to start sharing my shit again.
Yeah, your shit.
Because this was pretty interesting. If nothing else.
Pretty pictures.
Pretty pictures. If nothing else. Yay.
Ooh, it is a pretty picture. What's the headline again?
It says, in wild design, which I'm guessing is the name of the photograph, vintage illustrations expose the patterns and shapes behind all life on Earth. Man, it's got to be big. A new book published by Princeton Architectural Press explores the science behind a trove of organically occurring forms. Whoa, 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 whoa. A trove of organically occurring forms is a far cry from what it says here. The patterns and shapes behind all life on Earth. I guess it is the patterns and the shapes. Oh, yeah, I do remember some of these. These were really cool.
Oh yeah, I had like endless. After we got this story, I went and pulled up almost every one of these depictions you could have. I've used them as backdrops until I got Austin's artwork on my desktop. Those were my backdrops for the longest time. Something about them is very go back up to the
calming.
One. Something is very serene and very about that particular setup. Those just something about that. Like I've been there, a feeling of melancholy almost. I don't even know how to explain it.
I flew in my dream. It must have been last night, or it just hit me. I was like, dude, yeah, like, you know, when your dreams kind of come back. That picture right there just made me realize
That's what I'm saying. There's something powerful in that particular depiction is powerful. That was the one I had on my backdrop for the longest time, and I actually had to take it off because it was just too distracting. I would just sit and like.
The one on the bottom right, and well, the top looks like the bottom, but the bottom right, you look like bug eyes, and then the top looks like the bottom, and just see the.
Absolutely.
I see a lot of insect pieces in that to them.
And architecture.
People talking about the tinfoil hats. In chat.
Look at that. What you call it? The vortex right there on the top left. Look at that shit.
Like a toroid.
Mm-hmm.
Toroidal vortex. Yeah. Terrestrial Max says, I've been saying for years that I wouldn't be surprised if the tinfoil hat is legit.
Right.
They were talking about EMF waves in the chat. And yeah, tinfoil is a type of Faraday cage. Aluminum foil, it will act as a Faraday cage.
That's exactly why they were wearing it. Why the crazy conspiracy guy would put tinfoil on his head to block out people reading my thoughts.
In like, it was either in, I think it was either in Magical Blend or Fate or one of those magazines that I used to put some stock into a lot of what they told me. And it was an article about all of it.
Mad Magazine?
Every aspect. What was it?
Mad Magazine?
No, it was either Magical Blend or like what's it? Oh man, Sedona. One of those real heavy. Now Sedona was the Channel magazine. Anyway, it was one of those that I used to read a lot. That really had a lot of great information that got me down a lot of the paths I'm still on now. And it talked about everything related to mind control technology and what's up with it. That's where I was first learning about the patent for the TV. First learning about the MK Ultra program, and first learning about the lady who escaped it and told everybody to smoke fucking pot because it messes up the mind control waves that they beam at us all the fucking time. This whole story went into all of this shit, and in that story it talked about tinfoil hats and how to really work it would have to be grounded like a Faraday cage is. In fact, putting it on your head ungrounded would make it more of an antenna and increase those waves. And that was this story. And they even talked about how to set up one through each window of your house and how to use alligator clips to ground it a certain way and create a fucking, basically a homemade Faraday cage to keep all that shit out of your room at night.
I don't
And
think
this
I've
was in
ever
the
been.
90s. I was reading these magazines.
The only place maybe that I've been, I would say, might be New Mexico out there, in just northeastern New Mexico, where there's like nothing. Towns with like 50 people that live in them, and they're very scarce. But my Magellan GPS, it lost all of its connection out there, and I had no phone service, and the radio wouldn't work. So maybe somewhere out there, I wasn't being blasted. I'm sure I was by radar or something. But yeah, I don't think I've ever lived not in the soup. I've never spent 1 second not being just totally engulfed in EMF radiation, man-made EMF radiation. Because they say 7.8 hertz of the Earth is actually a healing frequency. The Earth's natural frequency is actually healing to our bodies. That's why grounding is so important. Sorry.
No, I was
Well,
going to
no, you
say, I
saying
feel
that-
that terribly in this house with like all of our electronics and everything going all the time in this house of boys. I did want to say, like, with the, because I am a little bit out of sync, but it was really cool. But on Karen and Jack's show, the anti-religious scripture study, they were talking a couple of weeks ago and describing the garment that you would wear to go into the temple, like when the priests would go into the temple and protect themselves. And it sounded like with making the, almost like making a chainmail, it almost sounded like they were making a little Tesla cage around themselves in a way, in order to go back. When you looked at the material on there, it again looked like it would function like a Tesla cage.
Yeah, look at some of these nights and these things. You would think, why would you put that on? To
It'd be
stop?
too
I
heavy
mean,
and
it'd be way too heavy, hard to move. It would be, yeah, it's got good defense armor, but you know, there's chinks in every type of armor. If you're moving it around, there's a slat in there somewhere. It just seems like I don't think people would have fought that way. What if it is a Faraday cage? What if there were electrical weapons at one time and those were, you know, like the guy walking through the Tesla
Starship?
coils getting hit by electricity but not being hurt? I don't know, just a thought. Yeah, that was a Cami right there.
yeah, thinking those like, yeah, crazy thoughts and looking at things differently. It's a lot of fun. Now go ahead, Walt. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you got me all tripping on that now. I mean, I'm just thinking about all the things, you know, that Martin's uncovered with the fascia, and like the idea of that, what was it, the worm dude that inhabited a fucking suit of armor that was walking
Yeah,
around and
Mhm.
shit,
yeah.
you know? Yeah, dude, fucking A. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, I just don't see your agility would drop so low that it would make you a target almost. I
Well,
don't
I
see
mean,
guys out there fighting with swords
well,
having
they
that much.
trained in that armor. Okay, what the fuck ever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
bullshit.
It's not like, think about that scene in Bill and Ted when they're both staggering around in that armor. Yeah, well, they're weak little puts. You can't walk in the shit. It's not real. It doesn't exist to be used that way. Oh my god.
Even those guys who wore that shit in LA and robbed the bank, yeah, they got in, robbed the bank, and got out, but they couldn't move. Their car got, you know, stopped, and then they were sitting ducks. You can't, it's just not, that's why people don't do it today. You don't see people dressed, you know, in giant armor suits. There is no Iron Man. Sorry.
I'm
Except
talking,
for us.
taking it off topic and out of sync one more time. I'm talking with the chat who were all talking about going to doctors and how many of us have given it up. And Sayonara wrote it best. I dropped my insurance several years ago. The doctors kept telling me I have half a dozen things that might kill me at any moment, so I quit going to the doctors. Sayonara ditto. There is, like, every time you go to the doctor, it's all about getting you hooked on a medication, as far as I'm concerned, that you're like not on a medication and that you'll need to be in. These are always medications that you need to be on for life. And I know, like from my personal experience, I have a lot of arthritis and different things that run through my family, and different things that we've all like started off going to the doctors for. And I know like every single one of my siblings and my mother is on how many, like 20 different pills a day, this and that, and the pain and the surgeries and everything. I hurt too, but I look at what's going on with being addicted to all of the drugs and also hurting, and that I'm again very discouraged with the direction we all are of where medicine has gone. It's a complete like money making scenario. You do have some miracles, but some of the miracles of keeping you alive, for another year or that, where you're hooked up to a ventilator, and that's not really life. I don't see that as a gain. Trying to live forever. Again, we've turned all of our energy into trying to live forever instead of understanding what the meaning of life was. They took that away with us when they taught us the globe and that we're insignificant and there's nothing and we're nothing but a speck of dust. So it got us to look away from why are we here? What is our purpose? What is the meaning of all of this? And has it all about, living forever? That's the whole gist of it. But the way they're doing it is not so good. You'll see, like for instance, everybody has been watching the commercials for like Aleve and the different things all day long, all day strong, and Motrin, all of the different arthritis stuff that they tell you to take daily so you can get through your days. And now the studies are out that the people that, I think it's pretty like obvious, I don't know why they need so many studies for that, these people that were working through their pain and the pain got taken away, their joints are like massively worse than the people that weren't taking the anti-inflammatories and not the painkillers, probably because people like me on those days I can't move much, so I suppose I can take the painkillers and bully through, but again, you're doing very long-term damage for the idea of fulfilling your Amazon job and working very hard and keep going and you don't slow down. A lot of our stuff is so damn ass backwards. And
Well,
so when you sit there and say, yeah, don't go to the doctor, I understand. And it's sad because they do good in certain situations, but they've made it that, again, you don't want to do the insurance or hold it or get into the system because now you're treated like, again, you don't have any control in it. You're too stupid to make any medical. And once you're in there, they have the drugs and that on their side. You're out of control. Go ahead, Zack.
I was just going to say, how many people have been diagnosed with, some terminal illness, and even though their body would have fixed itself, righted the wrong, especially if there were measures taken, given the right vitamins, minerals, whatever your body's needing, because most likely it's lacking something. How many of these diagnoses killed the patient due to the placebo effect itself? I mean, what is it? Like 80%? The placebo effect works just about as much as medications?
Yeah, you tell somebody they're going to die from it, and this is what
Just
their
putting that
prognosis
into
is.
somebody's head.
Well, just the stress alone of hearing that and being
A doctor should never
believe
tell a
the
patient.
doctor is God, then you've been
Yeah.
told you're going to die by God.
And you kill yourself because you believe it. So, in my opinion, a doctor should never ever tell. Maybe, but telling somebody they're going to die is like a death sentence when it comes to a placebo effect and the weak mind that people have, and doctors know best. They know automatically. No, they don't. They're guessing 50% of the time, I bet, on half the shit that they see. They don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're put into a very interesting position now, though, that everything you must follow best practices or face lawsuits or things like that. So you're not allowed to, in a way, individually treat or have common sense to patients, because they commercialize and pharmacalize everything that, well, no, if you're not treating them with this most expensive drug that doesn't cost them most, you're not giving them the best treatment, therefore you should be held liable, even though again, these newest greatest drugs, you find the results 10 years later, and there always are. There's always those effects 10 years later. But again, you have to follow a protocol. They've taken every bit of personal care out of it in order to go further, to have better, what they would call better, more successful, more advanced, more. The advancements are killing us. They're killing us long term. They're killing us in every term. Just again, taking your patients and giving them more care that like is hands-on, even comfort care, where you give them back massages, mist them with waterways to make them more comfortable, where they get to sleep nights instead of being interrupted. So many things in medicine, ways to help you heal. They're completely. It's like we know what does it, so they do the opposite in a way, in a as a way of, again, just the way that it's ingrained into you. You think of it this way: you do not perform well unless you get a good night's sleep. And I mean, how many studies? You don't need to do studies. Anybody that stays up for a couple nights knows what happens to your brain, knows what happens with the scattered thoughts and the whole bit like that. So how do they train doctors? As they put them on these ridiculous schedules where they're dehumanized and they can't sleep, and it's not, again, it's completely counterintuitive. Live by and make it so your patients can do the same in a way. Sleep pills to put them to sleep, wake pills to wake them up, the different things, this rear anxiety because it's doing that. It's all become a pharmaceutical joke. When you look at, they said right now that like over 70% of the population in the United States, and they said the population, not adults, but over 70% of the population is on at least one full-time medication.
And if it's any tale of the last time I went to a doctor, which was literally a year and a month ago, because I had cat scratch fever, I watched at least 6 or 8 elderly people barely able to walk into the back with a fucking gallon Ziploc bag full of fucking bottles of pills and shit. And I just wanted to run to whoever their doctor was and throttle them to the fucking ground. Returning that person to the zombie I watched, barely able to walk in there, because every time I went to Oregon and got my mom off the handful of shit they eventually would get her back on, she would be a whole new person, walking around, being alive again, instead of barely functioning, trying to overcome all the reactions to this fucking handful of shit she was taking every day. Sorry, it just touches a nerve.
We have it. No, same here. It was in Colorado before we left. It was like this conversation of, I would go into a pharmacy run for my husband's sisters, and Bob wanted to get out on such a beautiful day on the motorcycle, dropped me to run you down on the motorcycle and pick him up. And he's like, you can just, I was like, well, no, we have to pick up prescriptions. And he was like, well, we'll take a bag. And it's like, no, I have to pick up their prescriptions. And he's like, well, a backpack. He didn't believe it. So it's like, I get my biggest hiking backpack that like runs up to the top of my head. And you know what I mean? The industrial, I had to like go into the camping stuff and get a backpack, because a normal backpack, there would have been no way. I mean, they had some bandages and some other things in there too as part of the regular stuff, but I normally walk out with a couple big shopping bags. And it's like, I don't think you understand, no matter how creatively I pack these, I don't think we can get these 2 people's prescriptions on a backpack on a motorcycle. I mean, that's and that's again the regular prescription that takes like a half hour to do the checkout on that on them. And they're not well. It'd be one thing if like you were even doing this and you felt well.
Right, that's what I was saying about the zombie people I was watching
Right.
shuffle around with the bag of medicine. I could see if they had that bag of medicine and were doing backflips in the back and going, "Woo, I feel like an amazing person." But obviously they were in misery. You could just see it emanating off of them. Well, that's what they needed to do bullshit. Yeah, okay, whatever fucking thing you need to tell yourself to sleep at night. And here's the bad part. Again, not working, my mother working in a hospital, being a respiratory therapist for
Oh
30
my
plus years,
goodness.
my
Oh,
sister being a
that is
respiratory therapist. I
that
hung
is
out behind the
something.
scenes. I was in the background. I was watching and hearing the doctors talking to the dudes that would come in with their little briefcase filled with samples. Here, just hand these out to
Uh-huh.
everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. Pusher, first one's free. After that, we're going to get you hooked. It was like literally telling them, yeah, we got a nice place set up for y'all in like Cancun or blah, blah, blah. Telling them what they're going to get for giving this shit away. I would hear these conversations constantly. And it would just, oh, my mom, that's why she got out of it. Like,
One of my
I
best, and
got to calm down.
actually, yeah, I should calm down. And this is a mixed one. This is like a mixed thing on it, because I really, 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 really love this person. She was one of those people that is like the bubbly life of the party, somewhat exotic, just full of fun and energy. The daring low cut and things like that, but just fun. You know what I mean? Fun. She was a drug rep and one of my best jewelry customers. And yeah, the story she and how she sold the drugs. I mean, this is like reality back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, but the cleavage and the drop necklaces, even to
Oh,
get
there
the
you go.
things to drop
Right.
down right into the cleavage. I mean, we designed jewelry that way. Like, yeah, she wants it to hit right here and the whole bit. But yeah, a huge, oh, her house. I mean, actually, I deliver stuff to her house and do different things. She was that good of a customer, but loved her house. Can't say like I hated her or resented her in different ways. She was really a nice person.
Why
They
don't
had
you
great
flip me off, Josh?
barbecues. But
I'm sorry, Cami. I'm just being silly. I
Yeah.
just saw Josh do a bird. I don't know what happened.
A stupid
Flip him in the
story
bird.
wants to make
Yeah.
me pay him $4 to read it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get out your
I-
goddamn mind with $4 to read your silly ass story.
I was wondering what happened. I was enjoying your little background of fun things flying by the crater from hell, the moon.
Oh, I know.
the-
Diamonds raining on the things.
Right.
Yeah,
Red Dead. I laughed at the Red Dead because, yeah, we tried to save it. So much for that. It's fucking officially dead now.
And my story isn't even good. It's not like I really bad people. They're like taking advantage of the situation. And in her mind, just again, the more drugs you sell, the more money and the bonuses and everything, and flirt with the
Yeah.
doctors.
Right.
But the repercussions and you look at it now and what the population is
I know what this is.
permanently hooked on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
If they pull it away. Now, where it got scary is again, they pull it away. My son had his wisdom teeth pulled last month. And I went to pick up meds, and was there any problem with the Percocet they put on him? No. Was there any problem with the anti-inflammatories? No. They didn't have any amoxicillin. They couldn't find any amoxicillin anywhere.
Huh?
Yeah. Think of what I said. They wound up switching him to some like much harder core drug that much more harder antibiotic than one of those cross. They had to really move it up. But when you have that much surgery and that you need an antibiotic and the simple amoxicillin, and that was nowhere to be found anywhere in Spartanburg or Greenville or, I found that completely it's like kind of scary that
Yeah.
again, your basic, your amoxicillin, the peak stuff that you did.
What the fuck happened to penicillin? What happened to that? I used
Right.
to get shots of that when I was a kid,
Uh-huh.
and then suddenly it
They were out
became
of
all
that too at
these
the pharmacy. Yeah.
unpronounceable names.
Uh-huh.
Amoxicillin's the closest one. After that, it turned into shit you didn't know, and big red whelps and shit. Blah blah blah. So that'll be better. Right? Got more something.
It's got more syllables, it costs more money, and yeah, on the simple stuff. But yeah, on the rant and what they're doing
Yeah, I know. We could
Um,
do this rant all night. We better get
we could do it all
off.
night. Take it back to the
Better move it on to
Bible and
something
say,
else.
move it
Get
on
on-
to something else, because pharmakia is what killed this in the Bible, if you remember. So, or I
Oh.
believe, take that back. Yeah. Go. Take the screen. I'm going to go make a cigarette.
I think I want to make a. Well, I mean,
According to the Byte, an astronaut says the first gorilla suit that he tried to smuggle into space blew up in a fiery explosion.
what? We're not showing your screen no more, and that's not fun.
Yeah, I can't show everybody else our screen and show you my screen at the same time. As
Well,
soon
then
as I
what the-
share screen, my shit shuts off and it goes to that little pop up of smaller stuff. So then I can't show people that. No, you know what? Here's what I can do. Nope, I'm not going to do that. That's an awful lot of rearranging, but I will go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll go to YouTube. Seriously, don't bring nothing. You're already. I cannot believe the amount of tabs you have open.
No, I got it.
Just go.
They just won't see us because you'll be
Oh, you don't
behind the
have to see
time.
me. Please, Lord.
So yeah, this futurism.com astronaut says the first gorilla suit that he tried to smuggle into space blew up in a fiery explosion. I really want to listen to this, but you're probably going to make me listen to it. God blessed commercial. Yep. I'm not skipping the ad in 5. Plenty of things have been smuggled into the International Space Station. Let me try that one more time. Plenty of things have been smuggled into the International Space Station, making every one of them criminals, I would think. From booze to cigarettes to the cremated remains of Star Trek actor James Doohan. But when retired NASA astronaut Mark Kelly, who was elected to the U.S. Senate in 2020, attempted to send full-body gorilla suit to his identical twin brother Scott, who was stationed on board the ISS at the time, things didn't go as planned. People reports. Specifically, the suit exploded dramatically in 2015 when a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket was lost in a massive fireball. But the Kelly brothers were tenacious. The next time I was on the phone with my brother, he goes, "I'm sending you another gorilla suit." I'm done.
All right. Fuck
The gorilla suit didn't blow up.
What?
It didn't. It was in a rocket that blew up. I mean, if it was the gorilla suit that blew up in a fiery explosion, then it took out the entire Falcon 9 rocket, and fuck him for trying to smuggle an exploding gorilla suit on a spaceship. What a misleading headline. Ridiculous. Sorry.
The exploding gorilla suit, though. I think that was one of Milton Berle's best things.
New data shows that those who recovered from that disease were less likely than than somebody else to get, you know what, we're just going to skip that one for now. That was going to be ridiculous. Advancing AI is exhibiting depression and addiction, scientists say. Just wait till you hear about where these bots were trained. No, I'm not going to do that one either. The inventor of the World Wide Web says his creation has been abused for far too long.
Well, what the fuck is Al Gore talking about now?
It's talking about trying to shorten it by adding syllables. Because www is a lot longer than saying World Wide Web. Thanks, Tech Radar. Sign in. I'm not doing any of that bullshit. So I don't know what that story was, but it's from the Washington Post. So you can bet it was pure garbage. Florida lawmakers take the first step in regulating a Kratom supplement. The Advocate. This story is for subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say that every time I pop that shit open now.
This story is just for subscribers. Cannabinoid receptors in the brain appear to play a key role in the euphoric experience known as the runner's high. Interesting. The jetpack builder complains that jetpacks aren't getting attention. The skies are so empty. A giant Elon Musk rocket is about to crash into the moon after 7 years of chaos.
That's the rocket that later on nobody knew whose it was. We just figured out whose it was.
Oh, NASA has successfly completed the Artemis 1 countdown test.
So they went
10, 9.
9. Hey. And at the end they go, woo! Nailed it.
Woo!
All right.
We call that a dress rehearsal. Countdown test. Should have tested that when they hired him. Fuck. New York Times. Guess what? They want me to pay.
Right.
Oh, here we go. This was just, here we go. Look,
remember that.
1 year ago, 19-year-old built a flight tracking Twitter bot.
January? Are you kidding me?
Elon Musk tried to pay him to stop. Then, once he couldn't pay him to stop, Elon said, fuck you, I'll buy Twitter and make you stop. And he did. Scientists expressed concern at Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip. No shit. Snickers to remove the big dick vein energy from chocolate bars following green M&Ms called out for her promiscuity. What a whore. I, for one, enjoy the big dick vein on my Snickers. I would think.
Well, yeah.
I'd have to ask.
How you know it's a Snickers?
How do you know it's a big dick vein? I wouldn't. I'm just saying. Teens who are addicted to TikTok experience worse depression and anxiety and, in turn, reduced working memory capacity. So that shit will rot your brain.
Videos? Yeah, 1 minute videos aren't good at keeping your attention span. You know, lengthening your attention span. Imagine that.
Don't watch that shit, it'll rot your brain. See? See? The moon does not go around the earth. For any of you silly bastards that thought it did. Yeah. Nope, I'm just going to leave that there. That's the magicofscience.com. Nope. Oh, good luck. Just Google that shit. See what you think of that story. See how reliable of a source you think this is. blog.sinbag.tn. The moon doesn't go around the earth. No byline. Nobody wants to take credit for this bullshit, huh? Just trust us. We're just going to say stuff.
I mean, really, though, come on. I mean, no, really, come on. I mean, come on.
Oh.
So it's not a geocentric, or yeah, it's not geocentric place we're at. It's lunar centric. Well, that makes absolute fucking sense after I said it out loud. Never mind.
And the SpaceX winner is, quote, insanely disappointed, end quote. He had to give away his trip to space. I'm so disappointed. I went insane.
Weekend, right?
Do what?
Yeah, tickets to the big game, I think, that weekend.
I was going to read it, but I don't really give a shit, turns out.
Turns out, you're right. I don't either.
Elon Musk says it's more important for Tesla to make a robot than new car models.
Now, is this a giant robot or is this the one he made later that danced? Oh, wait, that was somebody in a suit. Never mind.
That's how important it is. Hubble spots a black hole giving birth to a new star.
Close censor that. This isn't a kid-friendly show.
I thought nothing escaped a black hole. Is that changing now? Does that change?
Just spaghetti.
No.
Nothing but sausage and starch.
Matter of fact, we added some stories earlier this week or last week that we should get to sometime in February
Probably
at this
about
rate.
2028, 29, something like that.
Where there's all sorts of information and light and things coming out.
Dangling structures, dude. I'm all about it. Let me find out what this is.
The jaw-dropping view of the
I
Milky
don't
Way.
remember that picture. I remember looking at it going, okay, what?
Yep. I don't know what to tell you. There. That's the shit that they find. Oh my God. Look at how dramatic we can make it. Good stuff. No, I don't want your notifications. Picture of some suns in the sky, some tweets.
Two suns in the sunset.
Some Summer Olympics.
Who's that dude?
Did those happen this year?
There was one?
These was from 1936 and from 1948.
Oh, yeah, a couple days ago.
I don't know what kind of asshole would look at these and laugh, but
Was this the regular Olympics?
No,
Well,
these were the trans.
relatively regular.
I went to school with the guy that looked just like that one
my
on the
name's
bottom
Doug.
right.
So that's a thing. Art should be a habit, not a luxury.
1930s Germany, folks. They're just replaying it right now in the U.S.
Oh, well, it turns out a billion years of time are mysteriously missing, but scientists think that they know why.
Because they're wrong. Could that be it?
No.
There's waves now or something, right? Space is waving. So time travels in a wave. And when we look straight out, we don't actually see, we're not looking along the wave. So time is really longer, but we're like time traveling, looking straight through. Could that be it?
Must be.
Yeah.
I better shut up. I'm giving them ideas.
I don't know what that was supposed to be, but
I don't know.
they got pictures of stuff and videos of stuff. We're on a Chinese satellite just grappled another and pulled it out of orbit. They say.
Satellites attacking satellites.
Clicks, yep.
Yeah.
Click.
I'm not. It's a jujitsu satellite, obviously.
Remember Bionic Commando? That was a cool game.
No, I don't.
Commando.
You had like a grapple arm that you could swing around on. It was on the NES system. Come on, man. Bionic Commando.
I know I played it. It's just not,
Awesome.
the pictures aren't
Go
popping
look
in
it
my
up and
head.
you'll see. As soon as you see that dude swing around one time, you'll go, oh, yeah, that shit was awesome.
And here's a big story. Not even a big story. Quick little summary as to the differences
Oh,
between
what was that I heard?
both Newtonian and Einsteinian gravity. Not entirely sure. I got about 57,000 things happening right now, so it could have been any one of them.
Okay.
No, that was me.
I thought it was some kind of thing in my end.
We're actually getting down to it, looks like. This is from January 28th.
Well, goddamn. All right. So this only will be a 12 hour.
Turns out NASA didn't invent Velcro, but they did dream up
Now, they
some
got that
enterprising
in
things.
area at Roswell when the aliens crashed. They never mind. It's a whole thing.
Refer.
You couldn't just make a listing of this shit? No?
That was space
Well,
lettuce. What were that? I just
there was
missed
some
it.
lettuce and some other things. I don't know.
Dr. Rich.
There's just shit.
Space lettuce.
I'm not interested enough to read.
There you go.
They did invent
next.
other things, apparently. How the Hall effect still reverberates. Jesus.
Okay.
All right. Sure does.
Next.
Oh, for efficient space propulsion back in
well.
1879. Yeah. Set the stage he did. Efficient
Don't you
space
know?
propulsion it was.
Don't you know?
Here we go. The giant tree stump impact crater spotted on Mars.
Well, fuck. Now we know the giant trees went to Mars.
Yep.
Hmm.
And the craters are just inverted tree stumps. And he's not outies. The Jiu-Jitsu Chinese satellite observed grappling and pulling
Wow,
another
you did
satellite
it
out of its
again.
orbit. Marvel stars like Simu Liu appeared to call out Evangeline Lilly for attending the DC anti-vaccination rally.
Oh, yeah. I remember all that. Okay, go. Next. Please.
Next. Getting down to it, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones break up.
Oh, dude. I love me some Mighty Boss Tones.
And finally, for January of 2022, the
Yeah,
war on
Kratom
Kratom
push.
sparks a push
War
for
on Kratom
protection
is
in
still
Kansas.
happening, everybody. I just watched a meeting happen here in Louisiana not too long ago. So if you are a person who is a user, an advocate, get through life with Kratom, and you're not a member of the American Kratom Association, head over there, sign up. They do lots of amazing stuff, lots of pushes, email campaigns, petitions. They get things done. It really has. They've made some changes since I've been, paying attention. So go check out the American Kratom Association. Yes, I am a member.
American Kratom Association.
Word. Right. So since that was just January of our space lettuce pile, I think I do have. I could just show the screen and run the stories.
Hold on.
but-
Shout out to Mike Stellium7, who we are keeping up past his bedtime, apparently. Saying he's never seen us on live this late. Man, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We got
To be fair,
11 more months to go.
we are on this late almost every Friday.
Yeah, this is early. We'll kick this another 2 hours sometime. Well, another
Sometimes,
hour.
not
Six,
tonight.
7, 8,
Sometime.
yeah. But yeah, Mike, good to see you, brother. When did we get you in here again for the fake Gregorian New Year thing? Sometime in it later, maybe for the real New Year even.
Yeah, you don't even got to come and present stuff. You can just come hang out, man.
Dude, that's exactly what I was just saying. When I muted, I was thinking to myself, well, it'd be cool just to have Mike come hang out, let alone if he brought something. I just want to talk to him. I like Mike.
All right, so I'm going to do this. This was the literal Skype group that we have. The 6 of us in there where we collect. And you can see the top story that we have on the screen is the war on Kratom sparks a push for protection in Kansas, which was the last story we saw, which was the last one in January, because here it is. See right here, February 1st, 2021. This was back when I was still labeling it month to month. And here comes the next story. We just scroll on down. It says NASA's James Webb Space Telescope turns on cameras to calibrate, I think is what that one was for.
This the 5 red dots,
Yeah, I think
or
so.
whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, the ridiculous. The metal world reacts to John Zazula's death. Something about
Yeah,
Metallica.
I'm trying to see.
Here's some crazy pictures in the sky. Alien hammerhead flatworm named after pandemic. An artist placed a cube made from $11.7 million worth of, I have no idea what. I'm going to guess toenails, but I don't really care. NASA just announced where the ISS will plunge to its death. And it's just that long, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the
Hey,
Space
do me a
Lettuce Pile.
favor. Do me a favor. Move your square over to the top left of the screen on the computer. Can you do that?
Word.
Yeah, you're.
Because you're blocking
I can do
the stories.
No, I
on the
can't.
YouTube feed.
I can do it, but it won't work super well. So I can do it like this.
While he's doing that, I have one of those Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. We all have them, our little smartphone correcting our typing in the chat. We have Angela Baby Carson Takes the Cake with her sweet story. I have a very special lady who does my honey herpes. Are very
All right.
it was the best. No, she was typing in herpes, but yeah, the
Honey
phone
Herpes, baby. That's the band name of the music right there. Honey Herpes.
Honey herpes. Shout out Angela
All
Baby
female
Carson.
band. It has to
That
be,
is
right? The Honey Herpes.
I've had such bad typos, but that one right there, the honey herpes. I'm sorry, that one just that
Fucking
caught
great.
me.
Oh, that's great.
So there we go. After announcing funding and support through the decade. Oh, no, because there it is, early 2031, after the new decade, right there. They said we'll fund it through the 30s and through the 20s, and then we'll just plunge it to its death. Because fuck it. Some MIT's created a new impossible material. Cool. Awesome. You can transform your Tesla Cybertruck into an amphibious catamaran. Did you hear me? Your Cybertruck from Tesla into an amphibious catamaran.
Sure. I haven't made an actual Tesla truck yet, but yeah. Let's add the catamaran feature to it now.
It just takes another, I don't know, say $20,000 down payment.
I like that.
You get the auto drive for it.
You know, Starlink warranty does not cover damage from dinosaurs.
Here.
Our brains keep us 15 seconds into the past to help us see something or other that it's listed further into that headline that I can't see. An 8-year-old slid his handwritten book onto a library shelf. Cool story. Do we create?
It was really an actually great story, that one.
I think I do vaguely remember that one too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Guys, feel free to go ahead and Google.
Because your pictures are like not popping up.
Yeah, because they're like 11 months old. Yeah.
No, I'm just making sure I'm not doing something wrong.
No, it's me because the links.
I'm watching YouTube. Never mind. Good Lord.
Well, no, and because the links.
I feel like I'm Inception right now. That's where I feel like I'm at.
See, where were we? Do we create space-time? Of course we do, because it's fucking nonsense. In 1922, a novelist predicts what the world will look like in the future, probably 100 years. What it look like now? Something like that. Photographer captures the James Webb Space Telescope traveling through space. I see you, seeing me, seeing you. Astronomers watch a star die and then explode. As Bob Saget is finally laid to rest. Pareidolia face is more likely to be perceived as male than what? And how would you know if it's just the gender you're looking at anyway? And it's a societal construct. How's pareidolia gonna know? SpaceX Starlink satellites doomed after a geomagnetic nothing burger. Vitamin D could be a piece of COVID-19's complex puzzle.
There was one. Who is this? Frank call. Frank call.
SpaceX's Starlink satellites doomed after, for the love of Pete, as hemp THC sales boom online and by mail. The cannabis industry, probably there in Louisiana, is
No,
booming.
go back. What was that?
No?
No, it's all this Delta 8, Delta 9 bullshit going around.
Oh,
right
gotcha.
now. And I mean, look, guys, I understand there are situations where you got to do what you got to do. I get it. I have been in those situations. Trust me. Not everybody's blessed. And I do my best to bestow blessings on everyone in my life I can. But unfortunately, there have been times when I have had to rely on, less than great access, I guess is a way to say it. And so, yeah, I get that maybe you have to do what you got to do. But do your research, do your due diligence. Don't just run down to the corner. What happened? Oh, I see what happened. You got it? Okay. Don't just run down to the corner store and pick something up just because it's cheap and the kids all think it's cool and you saw it on a fucking ad. There's this YouTube ad that goes by with this fucking dude that's got his eyes kind of half closed and he's all like, yeah, man, I got me some gummies and I'm a country boy. I want you to get you some gummies. And it makes me fucking insane because it just makes me, I don't know, just something about that dude. He's a fucking shill. Anyway, I'm ranting, I know, but just be careful because there's a lot of people out there trying to make money on a lot of shit. They just opened up a new store right here in my little town, a fucking quote unquote vape store. And it has all this Delta 8 shit all over it. And they even have a better price than in Lafayette, I was told by somebody who should know better, who I then quickly educated on, this is just chemicals. This has nothing to do with anything good for you and whatever. Well, yeah, but it helps my back and it feels good. And I'll take one of these and blah, blah. Whatever. Do your research. Find out what they're doing. Find out what this shit is. Don't just go eat it because they sell it at the fucking store. Sorry, I'm ran over. I hate Delta 8.
Well, as it turns out, the Earth is spinning faster now than it was 50 years ago.
Oh, nice segue.
Fucking humans, right?
Speaking of imaginary number.
Love you, James. I just saw James at chat.
Oh, don't get me back to the imaginary numbers because there was more, but you just
Oh God,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, fuck. You just go on because I'm stuck with that. We'll be discussing that, Karen. No.
Scientists have let slip the supersonic secrets of Earth's inner core.
Now, is that
Not the supersonic ones.
metallic liquid super like T1000 core or which one core? Which core is this one made of?
The,
Chewy.
Mm-hmm.
Chewy
it's a
nougat?
dynamo.
Tesla's now defunct rolling stop feature called out by the U.S.
So you just kind of ease into people when you hit them. You don't.
No, when you identify the stop signs, you just make sure you don't stop all the way. You just ignore the ones that say stop. It's real simple. Facebook Metaverse forces avatars 4 feet apart as gropers.
Oh, that's right. We talked to Hori, I believe, about the metaverse.
And that was back when they were maxing out their numbers.
Oh yeah, that's when they were selling off that Snoop Dogg real estate and all that shit.
$400,000 to live next to Snoop Dogg.
Oh my God! Please let me put it up on the screen, Josh, while you got it there, and then I'll show everybody. So in case they forgot or don't know it exists,
If you can put it on the screen.
I will. I'm getting it up right now.
All right.
Oh, please, everyone enjoy. If you forgot or missed it somehow this year. Oh, this is so good. Somehow, oh, hello again. I missed the video. Thank you, Austin. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right above you. Right above you right now, even as we speak. This is occurring. Oh, look up here. And
Pay no attention to those weird shapes going on.
oh yeah, the red X's and all that. Me and Zack tracked that down. Those are like at observatories. Those are
Yes.
observatories.
Apparently religiously owned.
I believe the Vatican does have their hands on a couple of
I do see a cross. I see a Star of David, but what do I know?
them. So this is the track. Then I'm like, wait, let's get all these. Wait, how do I click it off? I know there's a place. Debris. Okay. Turning on the debris. The debris was not turned off. This is all the other stuff off.
That's like man-made space debris.
That's just the debris. Yeah. These are like satellites and other shit. These are like payloads, rocket bodies, and debris that we know about. Plus, these are the unknown things. Then we throw in the extra debris, and it turns into that. And that's what goes on.
That's what you
all the
see when you look
time
out at night.
above you in reality, all around. This is what's happening. You
Look
see
at all
that?
those balloons in Antarctica. Did you see that?
I did.
Wow, that is a star David, isn't it?
It's a perfect, that's a decent circle right there. I wonder what parallel all those fall as they encircle Antarctica. That's a coincidence, I'm
You
sure.
know that. They didn't do that on purpose.
That's over the North Pole.
No.
I believe that would be over
No.
Central.
The North Pole.
South America, right?
No, that's Alaska.
No, that's Alaska, and that's
The
Greenland
Bering
right
Strait.
there,
That
huge.
That is
A little bit further.
Yeah.
Up.
And look at how they made a globe and still continue to keep Greenland outlandishly big.
The Central America one has the big cross, or the Xbox X, I guess, if you're so inclined. But yeah. Anyway,
Yep, that's what we see when we look out at night.
I don't see none of that stuff.
I'll share that link so you can share it with other people and let them go, well, that's not even possible. And then maybe they'll wake up.
Luckily for you guys, I jumped ahead to today to see if we had any better, like see how much further we've come since February. And you'll be happy to know that new measurements of gravity rotation lean towards modified gravity as an explanation for dark matter.
Wow.
We got, there you go, Zack.
Hmm.
This whole time you were wondering, and now we know that.
I have an article
Yeah.
here that talks about why they can't find dark matter.
Well,
These
here they
people need to get together.
Yeah, here they say that although dark matter is a central part of the standard cosmological model, it's not without its issues. There continue to be the nagging mysteries about this stuff, not the least of which the fact that scientists have found no direct particle evidence of it. Oh, there's no evidence of it. But the new study of galactic rotation seems to support them. Go ahead, yeah. I can't believe we call this science. I can't. I mean, at least the other science pages, it gives you something non-space, because I mean, you at least have really stupid things like, you know, that researchers just discovered that soap film on bubbles is cooler than the air around it. I don't know what we would have done without that piece of information, but today, as of December 30th, we know. It says 2R. Maybe it has 2 radiuses. I don't know. But the researchers suggest the cooler films could be a result of evaporation as the bubbles swarm. There you have it. Could be. Don't care.
Well, didn't we already see the crash into the moon thing? Space junk? I'm seeing another.
Another one?
Well, the one you were talking about was the one intimating that it would be China's rocket.
China.
I know it was around somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking at one in March here, early March. Space junk
Oh.
just crashed into the far side of the moon.
The story I just saw was saying that it could be China's or something, which was just after we just got seeing that it could be Elon Musk.
Yeah, this one is saying some say it's a spent booster from Chinese rockets. Others say it's from a SpaceX rocket. So far, nobody's claiming it. Guess what, folks? There's no rocket up there hitting the moon. That's the griff.
The Cybertruck could be Tesla's big miss. Oh, it is. Doghouse hit by a meteorite expected to fetch $200,000.
Oh yeah, the doghouse. I remember that one. Good
Let me
Lord.
pull up the low Earth orbit real quick again. No, I'm kidding. One doghouse that we've heard about, and that one lady that it hit her shoulder, and she went on to the doctor or whatever.
The woman who was hit by the meteorite was reported as saying, "Ow, my shoulder!"
Oh, that's smart. Dude.
Wasn't it laying next to her in her bed or something like that? She woke up and the meteor was sitting there.
My cock muscle, you boshed it.
Astrobiologists suggest Earth itself may be an intelligent something or other. Astrobiologists suggest.
They got that idea after Rick fucked a planet on Rick and Morty. Maybe the planet's alive. Come on, Gaia baby. I need some more iron and steam up here.
Ooh. Back in February, Russia was telling people it's going to stage a nuclear drill amid a standoff with somebody called the Ukraine. NASA reportedly plans to destroy the entire ISS instead of letting it crash into the Earth. And Walt reports the same thing.
There's a lot of that going on.
Astronomers find a zombie star feasting on its shattered planets.
Well, I mean, that's what's going to happen if you send stars out in space and they get hungry and there's no food. They're going to turn to zombies, right?
We're going to see some spaghettification.
And then here we are on this ultra hot Jupiter. Scientists think it might rain diamonds.
Oh my goodness.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is why we love space lettuce. NASA is testing a new approach to grow plants in space. You know, it's not really much of a new approach. They're still using light and water and oxygen, all that good stuff. Well, not oxygen per se.
But they
O2,
added
anyway,
space to it.
yeah. Astrophysicists say the planetary intelligence exists, but Earth
But
doesn't
Earth
have
has
any.
not.
Whereupon the astrobiologists
Say,
threw them down and proceeded to gently smack them on the shoulder, saying, "Meteorite, meteorite, meteorite." What's the nature of space-time? It's imaginary.
7.
The many moons of planet Earth. No. The many moons of
you mean
planet
the
Earth.
multiple moons or the tiny moon? How are you saying that?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, exactly. But I thought there was only one moon. That's what I was taught growing up and looking up and living.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You are correct.
Scientists have discovered an exotic magnetic state of matter.
Where's that at? In our core, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The core of the apple.
Core that's
We haven't got through the skin yet.
What?
Scientists discover the Earth's inner core isn't solid or liquid. Huh.
It's bubble gum.
I'll be damned.
Here's a how to incinerate an International Space Station.
You call Elon, he brings over the flamethrowers.
How to incinerate the international what?
It's a DIY book.
Yeah.
How to take down the ISS.
Or in case you happen to find yourself with an unwanted ISS. Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl says he's deaf. Somewhere else. I don't know. I'm just reading headlines at this point, not even full ones. How's this for an exciting show?
And
Well, you know, you do what you can to get through the year.
oh, this is
You
a
know-
good one.
The
This
head
next one.
of the Russian space program appears to threaten to smash.
We're not gonna tell you.
Nope. But he is dressed up and ready for a night out on the town and looking to smash.
What were you saying, Cam or Joe?
Well, you go ahead and do yours because I have the headline in today's news that can tie every single one of these stories together. You go for it. Try to trick me on this one because I think my headline can still. I think I can still do the tie together with mine. What was yours?
What? Whose?
Did you have something crazy? No, a science story?
Oh, the history of demonology is a history of the world.
Aha.
There's that one.
Okay. Well, we have right now an ongoing study. Are you ready? The study, and this is done in economics and business. So now we're like putting together our economics, our business, and our scientists. We know how much fun this is going to be, right? Study examines how many scientists a region needs to achieve dominance in a field. So I'm serious. This is where we're putting our money. We're putting our money into studying how much money it takes. And that's what this is what the study got to is they need a lot more money because guess what? The result, there is no critical mass of scientists.
Now, see, I think it just totally depends. Like if you've got like a dozen really big, strong scientists, then you only need a dozen. But if you got like little puny scientists, you're going to need like 70 or 80 at least.
But no, we're putting this with economics and see, here's what the problem is with what you just said. Even though what you just said.
Oh, wait,
makes
we're
sense.
talking about economic dominance? They're going,
Yeah.
The scientists are here to dominate the economy?
So, the study examines how many scientists a region needs to achieve a dominance in a field. And remember, this is done under the guise of economics and business. And
yeah,
so,
this medication
okay.
works the best. This stuff is safe. This stuff
okay,
not safe.
the result is there's no critical mass of scientists, but what you have to be as a pioneer, regions can catch up later, but this costs a lot.
Circle
If
the
you have-
wagons.
If you have a pioneer in it and then everybody else has to catch up with it, it's kind of like what they're doing with medicine. You can't have somebody like come up with a great idea and then people go and work on it. No, we have to be proactive and have all of the pioneers or whatever together. If you want, this is how they're doing it. The result, there's no critical mass of scientists. You have to be a pioneer, but the regions can catch up later. But this costs them a lot. If you want to open a restaurant, you first have to invest in waiters, chefs, facilities, and equipment to be profitable later on. The scientists need to invest in all of these things at leaders to be profitable. Therefore, we need financial resources and scientists. Early investment in them sciencing nothing will result in a richer phenomenon underlies the development. At no critical mass. I'm reading straight from economics and business. I can the team found no evidence for the existence of minimum number of researchers to hire. In other words, there was no critical mass to start and carry on a new research field successfully. Here the scientists focused on 3 scientific areas: semiconductors, embryonic cell sims, and internet research. In this way, it contradicts the generally held belief that you need a minimum number of critical mass. The region seemed to be successful when they managed to jump early on the train and become pioneers, but like the research, like in medicine, does that if everybody does everything, you take it all. put all of our money into this. They need money. They want more money. They
More
analyzed it.
money, money
Yeah.
me now.
In this way,
Make
we
more
analyze
money.
data spanning several decades, 20 million researchers in more than 98,000 research institutions worldwide. So they've spent all of this money on 20 million researchers researching 98,000 research institutions worldwide to see that, like, they need to spend more money. Nonetheless, our model of scientific capacity building is a simplification. If you throw everything at it, all of our money at it, you don't have to play catch up. That was like crazy. I'm still wondering on your goddamn impossible numbers, what that is doing to PEMDAS, you know, the order of operations in numbers. You know, you're negative to a negative, you multiply a negative against a negative, and it's not an impossible number, you're going to get a positive. But if it's an impossible number, you're going to get a positive. But where do you put that in the order of operations in math? How do you know whether or not to treat that negative squared as a possible or an impossible number? And how does PEMDAS handle that in mathematics?
All very good questions.
You like fucked with me on the very first thing you went, and I just can't get past it. I know, I'm looking at you. I killed it. Fuck the businesses. Sorry.
I'm looking at an article that's talking about that Artemis and sending your name. Did they do that with this the Artemis 1? Wasn't that Artemis 1, the one that went around the moon with nobody on it?
Yeah.
So did they do the name thing where everybody's name got sent around the moon?
I mean, I never saw anything about it, but surely there'd be some excellent photographs, I would think.
Send your name around the moon. And it's all digital. So what? You're putting your name on like a little SD card that's being sent? Who gives a shit? Sorry. I don't see the great appeal there.
No.
Am I?
Are you
Which one you hitting?
I'm just scrolling. Just scrolling.
Gearing up for Artemis 1. Yeah, there it is. Too much of a good thing. Early impacts delivered iron to Earth. Almost too much iron. And the lab is like iron something lab. Imagine that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, what? That sounds like some Ting Wong, the pilots. Me Too Low.
Does planet Earth have a mind of its own?
Didn't they just say no? Oh, that's a good one. The astronomers discover a water reservoir floating in space that is equivalent to 140 trillion times all the water in the Earth's oceans. Sure.
Not like 140 trillion gallons, but take all of Earth's oceans and multiply that 140 trillion times. And that's how big that floating, it says.
Okay,
it's
so we got
floating
ship
reservoir.
In space, we got the barrier in space, we got the water in space. Slow release. It's coming.
Okay, you guys have a choice for y'all. Would you rather have
Bananas. Oh,
7.
Yes, I would, Cami. Yes, I would.
bananas? I'd like to have bananas, honey bananas. We have a couple stories
fucking
here.
A. Shout out the legend
Daryl.
himself, Daryl Davis in chat.
Hello, Jelly.
Love you, my brother.
Oh, my friend Wax, thank you. Happiness. I have a couple of stories here, and I just don't know which one to pick. How, women can tell if a man is single. Women can smell if a man is single. Under I fucking love science, they have determined that women can smell if a man is single. Or there was another one that was like really good.
Thank you,
mean-
Karen B.
Well,
Does it
oh,
smell
no,
like he
thank-
hasn't showered in 3 days or done laundry in 5?
I was about to say, is it like a reek of BO or how does that work out?
I don't know. We'll have to look at that one. And now they're taking me
You
off
know,
base
you
because
say that.
quantum
you say that.
physics. Yeah, quantum physics lets
I'll-
researchers see things without looking at them.
Well, I'll say this. I used to hear, before I got married, oh, all you need to do is put a wedding ring on and you'll get hit on every time in a bar, da joke, ha ha ha. But dude, as soon as I got married and had a fucking ring on my hand, every frickin' where I went, I would get hit on. I'm like, well, that's like nuts. I guess the whole like he's secure, he'll marry, he's a good guy, whatever. When I would deal blackjack using a shoe, the auto, not an automated thing, but it's just called a shoe that you put the cards into. If my ring would hang up on it, and I would take my ring and take it and put it in my pocket, my upper pocket. But when I was dealing, I wouldn't have my ring on, but it still felt like I would get hit on way more during the period of me being married than any time prior to that. It just seemed like they could smell that I was married on me.
Okay, what they're saying is bachelor armpit is a thing. Bachelor armpit. Single men are stinkier than guys in relationships, according to the results of a sniff test.
I mean, come on. Yeah, it's probably going to be. You notice how it's singular, not plural. You want to guess why it's a dominant hand, the dominant side? Probably that one armpit's just a little stinkier than the other. I want to take a guess.
Yeah, they're just saying as a whole, single men are stinkier than guys in relationships. All right, let's I don't know how much money they used to do this, but I would say that's because the guys in relationships have the women around that say, Jesus Christ, get in the shower. But single men are stinkier than guys in relationships, according to the results of a sniff test. However, I know you're picking it up there now. Why pungent body odor and singleness might seem like they go hand in hand. The study authors said that the strong whiff may actually help unattached men signal their availability to women. Previous research has shown that single males tend to have a higher testosterone level than partnered men due to sexual competition associated with bachelordom. So it's stinky armpit. Single males may have a stronger aroma than those spoken for. I still think it's because they're not told to shower, but they go on pages about this. You guys really don't need to go outside just because Bester is there.
So when did the whole Ukrainian thing start? Because we have early March.
I was just
already
showing.
talking about them.
Did you see the pictures I was showing?
Pictures of the fake guns just a little while ago. I saw them. Yeah.
Yeah, the cardboard and the wooden
Well, this
guns.
twice now, at least, that we've solved mysteries. Like earlier, we figured out it was fucking Elon's rocket that crashed on the moon.
Well, no, because I
Figured out
just
a
saw
few
the
months
story.
later, but we saw the story before that. Yep. So, and now here we go. We knew this was coming months ahead too.
So the Russians
watch our fucking show, and you'll be on top of stuff.
And the Americans are up there in space together on the ISS. But back in March, there was all these threats of them breaking away, and
Russia
But
going to
now they're
allow the
doing bad.
ISS to fall and plummet
And
into
they
the
put out
US.
videos of it breaking up.
Yeah.
The Russian government put out those videos.
Space junk just crashed into the moon, into the far side of the moon at 58,000 miles an hour.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure that was either the Chinese space junk, or the SpaceX space junk, or all the other shit. They didn't know what it was that was going to be crashing. But there it was. It crashed. And they just called it space junk. No idea what it was. Let's see. Traces of life have been discovered deep inside the Earth's mantle, where they've never been and never seen.
Yeah. What discovered these things? Because nothing man-made has ever gone past what, 7.5 miles, almost 8 miles, something like that. So I don't want to hear about you going deep into the mantle and discovering things. When things come up out of volcano, you don't know how deep that volcano blah 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 is down there. It's not like you dropped an anchor down and had your volcano proof rope and got to measure it, you know. I saw one, a diamond from 66 kilometers deep from the earth explains how there's this down there and that. No, it didn't. Shut up. Quit making shit up. Sorry.
Yeah, I almost want to pull this story up. Flat Earther finally explains why nobody has fallen off the edge. Because it was such a ridiculous story. Apparently, I tagged it below it and it says, when AI makes you a space salad. So I'm sure it was just complete and utter nonsense. How fast does the Earth move? Stackable hollow bricks make a giant, highly realistic, three-dimensional something or other. I don't know. Our universe may have a twin that runs backward in time.
I remember that one. Where am I at?
4 Disney employees arrested in the Polk County human trafficking case. And this was back in March. Go figure.
4 employees.
But probably just those 4 and nobody.
Nobody else. Come on.
They just trafficked to and from each other. Those 4 people.
I wonder what they did at the park. Are they the animating artists? The ones who draw all the crazy fucking shit we see on the covers, and the Little Mermaid one still blows me away the most.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, because I had heard about it, and I was like, yeah, right, dude. I mean, I've seen that cover so many times and this and that, and sure as shit, as soon as my friend pulled it out, she handed it to me. She's like, I told you. She had an old VHS. Remember those plastic covered VHS Disney ones? They weren't like the cardboard VHS that got all old and crinkly. They were like the plastic with a laminate around it to keep it all nice.
Clamshell. That's what they
Whoa. Just say vagina. With all sorts of nasty names. Vulva.
The Big Lebowski. I love that. Some people find it abrupt with it, vagina. And she just says it to me. He's like, okay.
Mars astronauts could use lettuce to battle one of space's great threats, which is, of course, cannibalism, if you remember from January.
Hey, Zach, are you outside downstairs or no?
No.
Okay. My little dog wandered off. I'll find him.
I can head out there. Stinker biscuits.
Scientists described a dinosaur's butthole in exquisite detail.
Dinosaur's butthole.
The exquisite detail of a dinosaur's butthole.
What is exquisite detail? Exactly. Because I mean, they always use these words where it's like exquisite or luxurious. And it's like, well, luxurious to one person may not be luxurious to another. You know, it may be trash. So what are you talking about here? Did they show this butthole to show how exquisite it is?
I think they sold the rights to NASA.
And now it's a planet.
That was the first ever picture of, they call it a black hole, interestingly. Digital data could be altering Earth's mass just a tiny bit.
What?
That's right. All those little ones and zeros
Shit adds up, Zach. Come on, man.
Do the math, Zach. Do the math. Ones and zeros.
What do you think's
So
making the
does
Earth
your
spin
computer
faster?
get heavier?
Dude, I picked it up when I built it, and I picked it up just yesterday. That son of a bitch has to be at least 4 or 5 ounces heavier.
Now, why
Oh,
wouldn't
my
it be?
goodness.
If human beings get a little bit lighter after death, yeah, why would not computers also weigh more if they were fuller?
Yeah, but full of what?
Mm-hmm.
And zeros.
What are we
Some
full
blocks,
of
some
before we're
numbers,
alive that we are not full of after?
Ones and zeros. Bloops and
Energy.
I don't think that's how computers. It's not like the ones and zeros are like in there and
Energy.
you can go pick them up and pull them out. But I'm sitting there thinking like I'm gonna have to.
Are
Go
you
ask
sure,
Jaren.
Zach? Are you sure?
Yeah,
that you can't, you
I'm
can't
gonna
pull
have to
them
go
out?
ask. I'm gonna have to go ask Jaren and see like what he says about this. Like what happens to a hard drive when something gets printed on it? Does it become lighter, or does it become? I mean, it's not like you're adding anything to it. If there's something in there doing the printing, it's not like it already
I
isn't
had
in
a
there.
computer. There wasn't a picture of me holding my cat. Flip. Now there's a picture of me holding my cat. I added something that I'm being stupid. I'm not being serious.
I know, but this is
'Cause I think-
ridiculous.
I think
Yeah,
my son, if you ask him that
definitely.
question, he's going to laugh his ass at.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
right.
That's why I'm like really hesitant about
Darren,
even asking.
Darren,
Because it's so dumb.
Darren.
Like, but what happens to a hard drive?
But
Does it change at
will
all?
he answer it with knowledge, or will he answer it with assumption? Will he just assume that it's not going to change because he assumes it wouldn't?
No, he will. If he doesn't know, he will just say, "I don't know."
Oh,
Jaren
he'll
is
just roll. Yeah,
he's smart, dude. He's not one to bullshit and make stuff up. He'll just tell you, "I'm not sure what happens," and then he'll probably go look it up, and then in a day or two, he'll be like, "Yep, this is what happens."
Get yourself a real sensitive scale.
We've got a jewelry scale here. I mean, I guess until I try it and test it out. I mean, how hard could it be? You take a brand new SSD drive and then just download a bunch of shit onto it and then weigh it again.
Oh shit, I can do it right now. I can literally do the test right now. I have the same model of hard drive, one that's completely full and one that's completely empty.
I've got
That's not the same.
an
though.
empty one right
Why?
here in my hot little hand.
Why is that not
Still in
the
the
same?
pack.
It's the exact same fucking hard drive I bought the same day.
Because nothing, I've worked in manufacturing for like 2 decades. No pieces are exactly the same. They may come out to be the exact same weight, but
I get what you're saying. You're talking like micro things.
Well, yeah,
I
well, that's
weigh
what
these
we're
two
kind
hard
of talking
drives, and
about
there's
here.
like ounces of difference. Then
Oh yeah, then holy shit, I mean,
That's what I'm
ounces would be
saying.
insane.
Right,
A
that's what
gram
I'm
would be
gonna find out.
insane.
I'm literally gonna find out.
See, testing it live. I love it.
Let me go grab my scale. I'll be right back.
Is it the little nickel ounce scale? Nickel weighs the ounce. That's how you make sure it's.
Yeah. The envelope, you just got to hang an envelope from it to double check.
Yeah. Oh, the good old days. You saw somebody with the digital scale and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. They were expensive back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And now you can get one for like $10. And $10 will get you like what $3 got you back then.
All right, I'm back. I dropped it. Sorry. All right, I'm back. Give me a second. It's gonna take a second to get there. Oh, good night, Ian. Take care, bro.
Where are you at?
We are rolling into May.
Okay, I've been
I'm in
Googling this, and
July.
I have some answers, by the way, to this, and they're mixed on here. You guys are gonna have to help me out with your tech stuff. Okay, for electronic storage, RAM, SSDs, flash memory, etc. Yes, adding data directly increases its weight. Yes, your HDDs and SSDs really do weigh more when filled, but does a full hard drive weigh any more than an empty one? Not any more so than a roll of coins weighs different amounts depending on whether the coins are head up or head down or whatever. Are hard drives heavier when full? A hard drive should not change results in any measurements of mass.
Wait. Time out. Go back a second.
Mhm.
Rolled coins weigh different, heads up or heads down.
They might if you use a fine enough scale in a roll or whatever, just capturing like air in that between it. I don't know. I would think it
Isn't
would.
that's what it said though, right?
Well, let's.
Because I can test that one. I got a whole shitload of coins
Okay.
sitting over here. I just need a roll thing, but I'm having
This
trouble
is-
buying that.
This is what he answered, and this is salient sapient, which it's a Reddit answer, so I'm not quite sure how good. He got three things on it. Not any more so than a roll of coins weighs different amounts depending on whether the coins are heads up or down. An empty hard drive stores some numbers of ones and zeros, but you don't care what the exact numbers are. A full hard drive stores the exact same number of digits, but they have to be set to specific values that you care about. That was his answer.
Yeah, I don't take anything from Reddit or Quora. Or,
Yeah, that's why
I
he says I'm
want
not. Yeah, I'm.
real
You want real stuff.
stuff. Yeah. I'll take Walt's word over right here over anything they say. But to actually do it, I would weigh an empty one and fill that exact same one. And it'd have to be a super fine scale and then weigh that one again. Just because manufacturing, I mean, you know, I made plastic parts and they could look exactly the same and weigh, you know, grams different.
This
Look pretty much exactly the same, but the density of it, the thickness, there's all kinds of things that go into it. And you can control that stuff.
8.36, 8 ounces, 0.36 here on the empty one I just opened.
I went into
Give me a second.
physics stacks
Okay.
where he's weighing that too, and got a little bit more from like physics majors on here, and I have two contrasting things on here too. One writes the bits are represented by certain orientations of magnetic fields which shouldn't have any effect on gravitational mass, but another answer contradicts that one by saying most importantly higher information content correlates with a more energetic configuration, and this is true regardless of the particular type of storage. Now, as per Einstein's most famous formula, energy is equivalent to mass.
My goodness, yeah. That's,
Oh my God, poetic license! I know. I'm in with the and then we're doing the Bohr magnetron and some different things. I'm getting in the physics stack, so I'm getting pretty like in my post, I estimate that the hard drive might contain 10 to the 23rd power of electrons total split in, we know there's no electrons, split into 10 to the 12th power of magnetic domains, which are spaced around the 0.1, whatever that signal is.
32.
Yeah, we're out of here, 832. So
On
they
the
do weigh
hot-
different.
Yeah, but the hot, unplugged, freshly from my computer one weighs less than the cold, empty one. Is it heat that made it different?
A temperature can have a difference.
I know, that's why I'm wondering.
I know that with the jewelry scale and everything like that, in case you're wondering, Zach, you'll notice that the jewelry scales to be legal for trade, you know that you have to have it leveled. That's something that a scale must have, is be perfectly level. But the other thing is that you have to use it in a temperature range, I believe, like it had to be between like 68 and 75 degrees or something like that. It's again, when you're measuring really fine things, you have very controlled environments and a windshield. I don't know if you're going to control your environment enough for that, Walt.
how much different was it? How much different did you say there, Walter?
0.04. One, the empty one was 8.36 and full one was 8.32.
That's ounces?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking 0.2 grams, what, 28 grams in an ounce? 14.7 would be 0.25. Yeah. Oh, this is, oh yeah, duh. A quarter, an eighth. Okay.
Oh, I gotta
Point-
say it.
0.125 is an eighth.
Yeah, I gotta send it.
So it's a very small weight. But that's what I'm
37
saying.
grams versus. No, sweetie, you got to get out. Come on, get out. Yeah, you're too variant. You got cat hair falling on everything. Come on, I guess. Come on, baby.
That's why I'm saying you would almost need to weigh the
Yeah, I know.
one
This
and
is as
then
joke
weigh.
as anything. I just thought since I had a brand new one that wasn't open yet,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
same thing. I would try it. But yeah, so here's what happens with grams. The empty one, 237. The full one, 237. So they weigh the exact same with grams. Let me double check that. Here.
And you'd probably measure them in pounds, and they'd probably equal the same too. It's like measuring coastlines. It just depends on the size of the
No, yeah,
stick.
yeah,
And like
no,
Cami
no,
says,
that's what
the
I'm saying, but I
sensitivity
would
of the
have
scale.
thought the grams would have went closer than the ounces.
Yeah,
Mhm,
you
me
would
too.
think if the ounces was off, then the grams should have been.
And I have
off.
checked this weight with. I have some weights laying around from back in the day when I used to have a triple beam from science class. From science class, 237, 237. So I don't know. Now I don't know which hard drive is which. I guess the dusty one is. I need to mount this one anyway. This other one's all overdone. Okay. Oh.
Get him, Hank.
Singing lemurs. Don't you
Hank's
know?
ears are up. He's like, what the?
What?
Looking
the-
all around, tail
Uh,
pointed.
I believe that was Kevin. Kevin Bell was calling the tinnitus hotline. I believe that's what that was. He just kept ringing. Love it, brother. Paul gave me a good dad joke the other night.
So yeah, I wonder. Maybe this is something. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into. I wonder if it changes the weight of it at all, adding ones and zeros. Because this to me sounds like the whole fidget spinners. If enough people had fidget spinners and spun them, you could slow down the rotation of the Earth. Yeah, but all the ceiling fans and motors, electric motors spinning constantly, they don't do anything. I've never once, and I've hooked up lots of motors myself, been told, okay, we have to hook this one up in this direction to make sure we don't slow the spin of the Earth. We have to, half of this factory is set up this way, so everybody on Earth is in tune, so we're not all spinning the same direction. No, that never happens, never takes place. That was a physicist who graduated college and got a degree. Who, yeah.
Move all this. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run and just get some water.
Well, it's 8 o'clock. I just realized I want to wrap this up at the top of the hour. We certainly could and start this up for next. Where we at? We did the first quarter, right? We're doing this in quarterly.
We just hit June. We're halfway through, baby.
Oh, well, hell, we can do a two-parter then. We'll finish this up.
How the multiverse could break the scientific method.
Oh my goodness, the multiverse. We don't live in a Marvel movie, folks. I'm
I've
sorry.
seen the Marvel movie, man. Don't tell me Captain Marvel's not real or whatever it's called. What's his name? Steve Austin. Oh, that's the funny thing. What's his name?
Stone Cold. What?
It was one. Gentlemen, it can rebuild him. Make him better than he was.
It'll be faster.
4 more hours,
Stronger.
Martin Haley says there in chat. Yeah, buddy. Let me go get a freaking piece
I could lay down on the bed back there and you can watch me sleep. That's all.
I've only been up since 3 a.m.
Isa Mahalski's in the chat. Isa, if you come and play for us, I'll keep the headphones on and listen.
What is?
Shout out, Issa. How about next week? I wasn't sure if we were going to do a show this week or not because Walt still had some issues as to whether or not he was going to be here, and I knew Walt would want to be here. So
Well, yeah,
next
fucking
week
A.
or the week after, but the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
Friday you have
absolutely.
available, Issa,
Yeah, man. Reach out to it.
we'll have you on.
Please do.
Absolutely, I'm excited to do it.
And for sure, if it, yeah, definitely. I don't want to miss it. So
Also, don't forget tonight on Ceiling Fan Man's channel, he and Boston Ray's Mudflood Adventures are going to be talking to Wright's Crispy, First Amendment auditor,
right,
Finn.
Dude,
So that should be really
awesome.
good. Hell, that might be happening now or at 8. I forget exactly when it was.
If you guys don't, especially, I mean, there's a lot of great European auditors as well, but I know there's quite a few in England doing it.
Canada,
If you
Australia.
don't, yeah, if you don't know them, go learn your laws, your rights. Not so much the laws, learn your rights. That's what they're teaching, these First Amendment auditors and stuff like that.
Well, it's
And
like this. Never mind. America's
oh,
different.
go.
I just
Yeah,
think America's
it
a little
is.
bit different because we have the right to do whatever the hell we want to do, unless we are told by a law that we aren't allowed. Laws limit our rights. Constitution limits the government's ability to limit our rights itself. But we basically have the right. Unless it's forbidden, then it's allowed.
Yeah, and most people don't know their rights. At least the rights they have while they're out in public, you know, and the things they're allowed to do. And so many people think, oh, you can't take a picture of me without my permission. I still hear that all the time.
Well,
don't know
if the
where
post
that
office
idea
wants
came
you to
from.
leave, then
take a
they're
picture all day long. Just don't publish it. Hey, Tommy, tell the truth in chat, letting us know there's going to be a meetup the weekend of the 22nd of January there in Pensacola, Florida. Well, damn, that's pretty close. Oh,
Nice.
I don't know. I can hardly make it to Lafayette sometime, let alone to New Orleans or another state. So I won't say I'll be there, but man, that's exciting. I'm hoping it works out for you. More details to come soon. Definitely keep us in the loop. And if you'd like to come on and talk about it, Tommy, tell the truth, please reach out. IronRealMedia@gmail. That's how you find us.
and it's not useless to do so. I know Josie's reached out. We've had a couple of people reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just have to forgive me or not. I don't know.
And I've gotten lax of late as the holidays ramped up. I haven't looked at our Iron Realm Media email probably in 2 months least. So my apologies all around to anyone that I've missed. Mine is easy to find. It's facebones777 at Gmail. You can reach out to me directly. I can ignore you there too. No, I'm kidding. I do generally try to get to those daily if I can, as Jeremy there can say. He and I back and forth a bit lately with some ideas he's having, which I'm excited about. So, but yeah, just reach out to one of us.
You know those comedic scenes in cartoons typically where there happens to be a yard full of garden rakes and every step somebody takes, it's a garden rake right to the face.
My daily grind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's been like for me since October 1st.
Yeah,
since
dude,
my
you've
birthday.
been on some hellacious, I don't know what, but I've definitely been hugging you hard from here in Louisiana, my friend.
And it is much
As have
appreciated.
we all.
So I'm hoping all them dumbass January fools and their energy. Oh, it's a new year. Maybe things will change here soon.
Maybe.
Otherwise,
Well, I
I'll
mean,
just have to.
you know, everybody's got things. Everybody has life. It's, you know, it's what we're here to do. It's what we're doing. It's what we do. Changing, growing, learning, whatever. And it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard, and it hurts, and it tears down these meat suits we're wearing, and yeah, it's all that. Hell, our good buddy Ryan on Doc Run9, and I can never say it right. There in chat, still struggling. I dropped a link to his channel there in chat. I'm trying to find my I had the link to the PayPal up. I guess I didn't. I'll drop that PayPal when I open it back up because I'm like you at this point. I've got like 80 open, John. But anyway, yeah, all of us have things. Everybody's struggles. Everybody's got life on them. So just remember, we're doing this together. We are one, whether they want us to believe it or not. That's what we're doing here. And just keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers and energy field if you can. If you can't send money, at least send the love and the prayers. It does get there, as Josh will definitely attest. And it definitely helps when you're struggling with things. I know the times I've reached out to you guys for different whatevers when I'm dealing with mom stuff, with her passing. Anytime one of my family members close at hand, it's health issues. Anytime Josh falls down and we reach out, you guys are like that on it. And I feel it when it hits. So you guys rock. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all.
Yeah. So I'm here. Where is this? July 21st. I moved here. I got to do this one. This is by Carbuzz. Tesla will start refunding Cybertruck reservations. But listen to this. This is a genius fucking scam. I'm sure he's not even in on it, but it's happening. 1.2 million confirmed pre-orders in Australia alone at $100 a pop. They say that's 3% of the orders worldwide. So that's $120 million, that 3%. So if that's only 3%, $120 million, and you go up to 100%, what is it, 3 billion something dollars? So he sat there and collected interest off $3 billion for years. 2019, all these orders were taken. So
refunds. All right, I just made $300 million. You want a refund?
Easy.
Fine. Here's that money back. I got my 300.
Yeah, I'll give you your money back. Yeah, I just made a shitload of money off it, just the interest of that, holding it for a few months. Don't pre-order shit, people. Especially something as dumb as looking as that. Did you really think this thing was ever coming out? Have you seen any other company following suit and making a vehicle that looks like this thing? Sorry. One of my pet peeves. I can't stand that stupid thing.
Yeah, the truck's not very good either.
Windows are great. The windows, they're bulletproof. Don't worry about it. Just not bearing proof.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's all about speed. It's all about speed. Once you reach a certain velocity,
it's like hitting water. It turns to concrete, right? Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
That's it. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get the fuck up out of here.
Love y'all.
Love you. I'll remind you that we have a really, really special show next week. We have one Mr. Isamahovsky joining us. So cool. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm super excited too. Let's make sure you hit the little bell notifications over on our YouTube channel if that's where you want to be. Whatever. I'd suggest heading over to Rockfin. That's where I'd suggest. There's lots of other places you can go. I'd suggest heading over to Rockfin. But yeah, you can go to those other places too if you want. Don't be surprised if we're not long on YouTube because I'm about done with YouTube.
Yeah, go show Rights Crispy some love.
I think that's where I'm going to
be. Really cool guy.
That's next, right? That's coming up.
Yeah, that's tonight. If it's not happening now, it should be happening soon.
I'm trying to get over there and see.
And I'm going to be hitting up Rights Crispy
live though right now,
and trying to get him over here because I think we could have some real great discussions as far as First Amendment audits, rights, freedoms, laws.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, before we get out of here, as we were coming on, I noticed a live stream from one of the people I'm subbed to about a huge comet visible from Croatia. God damn, my mouth won't work. Y'all know anything about this?
No.
No, exactly. We watch the skies regularly. We pay attention to space news, and yet here's this story. And it's now not a live stream, so I'm kind of fast forwarding through it, and I'm seeing some very interesting shit. What I'll do is drop a link to that no longer live stream here. Let you guys go check that out when you can and see what the hell's going on, because I plan to as well. Look at this and see what it is. But yeah, he's definitely doing some research on it. And if you're not familiar with Against the Grain, it's a good channel. Lots of good stuff there.
That's funny. I'm looking at this and I'm showing it's from January 26, 2022. So maybe where it might be an old story, or it might be again
Maybe
something
he
else
did
happened.
it
Yeah.
maybe he was doing it as a premiere, but it was live when I was coming in.
Interesting, because I don't see anything in the news or anything
Well,
now.
that's what I'm saying. I didn't see any news about it. I know we had one a few months back, but I didn't see anything about this. So was it just maybe it was just a premiere he was doing about it. I'm trying to go and see one of the dates on these pictures he's showing, but I'm not seeing it. Anyway, I didn't mean to sidetrack things. Go check it out if you can.
I'll give a big shout out to Amos over there on the Rockfin chat too, holding it down over there by himself.
Yes, thank you, Amos.
And with
Thank
the $20
you. All
tip.
our rock fan stuff. Put my mouth. You bet. But all our rock fans holding it down. Thank you guys. I know it seems like we ignore you and give way too much love to the place we hate, fucking YouTube. But
Now, he might have
y'all
just been showing stuff, Cami, from other ones, but later on in the video, he's definitely showing video. This one says 12/29/2022.
okay, there you go. That makes
So yeah,
sense. They
he's
have been just showing old
yeah,
stuff.
he's doing he did a live stream, but it wasn't like he's
Oh,
outside showing it live. He's
right.
showing pictures that were taken now and then pictures that were taken back then, and just yeah. Okay.
Anyway, there's the link. I did drop it. I think I did it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Here it is again if I did.
By the way, I was looking at different paint colors, and Karen B, this is because of you, and Daryl D will think of both of you. Looking up and was going to pull up Tangerine Mist to show you, Karen, and see what you think of as a highlight color for somewhere. And when I pulled up Tangerine Mist, I did not get paint colors. I got strains, and I got beautiful strains. I've never heard of Tangerine Mist. Daryl. It's really pretty. I don't know if I like the color as an accent color more, or if I like the strain better now. I'm all confused. I expected to get a really light tangerine color, and instead I got this beautiful, beautiful bud with like purple in it and Tangerine Mist. Pull it up. And Benjamin Moore would be the paint color, but when I typed in Tangerine Mist, I certainly did not get paint.
I'm trying to close tabs and too much.
I know.
Big
and
shout
you didn't
out,
read
Karen.
Amos's thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zach. I
was just gonna say thank you. Karen found a guy, John Bedini. If you never heard of him, Bedini.
It's a flat sandwich, isn't it?
It might be, but he was like an electrical engineer that looks like he's done some really, really neat stuff with free energy type devices. Well, not free. Of course, you're going to need something there, but yeah, interesting stuff.
So along with that generous tip over on Rockfin, Amos says, wishing the men and women, because Cami is actually here too, wishing the people of IRM a prosperous new year. Figured I would get the EOY end of year started off right. And Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Love it, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amos. Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you so much.
And don't dig any deeper. It all stopped with him.
Yeah, right. Don't worry.
Everything just stopped with him.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, there was one.
He wasn't replaced. It's just like the SR-71 Blackbird. After they showed it to the public and said, yeah, this is the spy plane we invented 20 years ago. They're like, well, what's going to replace it? Nothing.
That's right. Just remember, if you're trying to outrun a bear, you don't have to run the fastest. You just don't have to run this.
There you go.
Oh, here's the other link I meant to share earlier. I have it open finally again. Oh, no, apparently that's not correct. Why won't that work? That's why I couldn't share it a while ago, because when I tried, it was too long. So apparently Ryan's PayPal link is giving me a long link, and that doesn't make sense. Huh.
Nope, that shouldn't be. Should be like PayPal.
I know. That's
Me
what
or
I'm saying.
some
Why
shit.
did it? Oh, I bet it's because I copied it from his. I bet I copied it from his YouTube. That's probably what I did. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Okay, it's now in the chat, in both chats here. If you guys can help him out, please do.
There you go.
All right,
Now,
guys.
20
thank you
minutes
so
later.
much.
Love y'all.
Yeah. There we go. That's good shit. Just maybe back off a touch. There we go. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Always a good Friday night. Let's go hang out over on Ceiling Fan Man's channel. Tell him IRM sent you, because we love our First Amendment audits and our First Amendment auditors. Tell Finn we said hi. I'll be over there at some point for sure. In the meantime, you guys be good, be well. Make sure you join us every Tuesday and Friday morning from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central for the Ironworks on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, including all the other places we are right now. Otherwise, we'll see you for more Have No Sphere. We're looking for Asa Mahalski, maybe some First Amendment auditors too. We'll see. Love you guys. Bye-bye.